All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the program, Ben and Woods, here on 97.3 The Fan. Ladies and gentlemen, the monsoon. I mean, it is just never going to stop. Moist, wet, slick again this morning. Let's try to get our heads right, though, as best we can on a Thursday. I'm Woodsy, and I'm the host of the show. Benjamin Higgins is my co-host. He is out. He is currently probably on, teed off at 7:40. Probably like the sixth hole. Yeah, he plays fast. So he could be at the turn for all we know. Let's text him and find out how it's going.
Let's text him again.
And then text
and again.
Continue to text him throughout the day.
Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, let's just put Ben's number in the chat.
In the chat here, Ben. How's it going? Boom. Yeah, he was just tearing us up yesterday in the middle of the show, and not like a couple of things were work related, but it was like, here, I'll just read. This is what we're right in the middle of the show yesterday and trying to do this when he's on vacation. And Ben, Paul Ryle also, I don't want to leave you out of the intros here, buddy. Paul Ryle is our executive producer. Today, he is my co-host, and he's our YouTube director, executive producer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So here's one. Landed in Minneapolis. He goes, I think if there weren't so many clouds, I could see Regina out my window right now. No response from us at all.
Just cracking himself up.
He said, how's the show going? I said, not bad, not great. He said, I'm on my layover in Minneapolis. It looks brutally cold outside. Fantastic. I said, I've not been great today. I was a little bit out of sorts. He said, well, I'm sure the drive to the airport didn't help. Plane arrived almost an hour early, so I'm just hanging in their PGA lounge. Cool hitting bays and putting green. I said, nice. Match play on TV, and my club card thing gave me a $15 credit. Ben for the win. I said, okay.
I cannot stress to the listeners enough how much we have to pull to get Ben to contribute to planning our daily show.
Correct.
And yet this guy goes on vacation.
And he's so gregarious and fun and responsive. I'm like, dude, tell me more. You know what? I'm in the middle of the show. Tell me more about the Minneapolis airport, because I've always been curious.
Is it cold in Minneapolis? Really?
It is. You're kidding.
Wow.
That's amazing. I love him. I love him like a brother. But you know how brothers are. I've got a brother. He gets on my nerves, or he used to. He doesn't anymore. Ben and I get on each other's nerves, and that's part of the push and pull and the dynamic of what makes this show fun. And Monday we will celebrate. We will celebrate each other. We'll celebrate the tier ones, all the listeners out there who've made this show a behemoth in the last 5 years. And it has been a slow climb, but one that is something that I get emotional thinking about it. And yesterday was a great example of that, Paulie. We put our tickets on sale for the Ben and Woods Open. And listen, I'm not complaining, because truly, if you're going to do something and do something well, it's going to take some work. Nothing's easy, especially putting together any sort of event. Anybody that's ever planned anything, whether it be your 5-year-old's birthday party, your wedding reception, a wedding, Paulie, you did a couple of years ago in the middle of a pandemic. If you plan something, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare from time to time. And it's going to be like drinking from a fire hose.
It's why, had the pandemic not happened, we would have paid money that we would be paying off for a long time to pay somebody else to plan everything, because it's a nightmare.
It is really, really a tough thing to plan a golf tournament. It is. If you want to do it right and you want to make sure that people get cool stuff and that you can accommodate everybody. So yesterday, though, when we put the tickets on sale, anytime you're also selling tickets for something, I told Paulie, I was like, I'm going to throw up. At 10 o'clock when we signed up, I go, I'm going to go to the bathroom and vomit right now because I'm so nervous.
10 o'clock on sale time was a bold strategy on our part.
Very bold strategy.
To have it just lingering over all of yesterday's show, knowing that as soon as we get off the air, it's on.
Well, and I
would have rather had like a 1 o'clock p.m.
Yeah, how about midnight?
Yeah.
I want to credit a lot of people. First of all, I want to credit the tier ones out there who snatched it up, and it sold out in about 20 minutes. And that to me, that's what made me a little emotional. I really got like
incredible.
I really got like so thankful is how I felt. And I had that thing again.
The first tournament sold out in like 5 minutes, but we had a lot more spots available.
Yeah.
We're doing two
flights,
tournaments, essentially 2 flights. Yep. And I don't know, over 100 more people than the first one. And so you get a little nervous.
I was a wreck.
20 minutes. That thing was pretty much sold out. The only thing that was left was golfing with us, Ben. It was a little more expensive.
Yeah, I got out of here and I saw some people tweeting that they got in, and that made me very happy. And I got in the car and I said, oh man, I'm exhausted. I said, I'm just getting a sandwich and just kind of follow along in case somebody needs me, to respond or whatever. So I did. By the time I sat down with my sandwich, we were sold out. So it took about 20, 25 minutes. And it was one of those moments where, and I get these from time to time where, maybe I'm not feeling so good. Maybe I'm questioning myself. Maybe I'm beating myself up. Whatever it is, a negative comment is a pebble in my shoe some days. And I when that happened yesterday, I just went, dude, yes, thank you guys so much. You made a really stressful day not so stressful, and to be able to count on an audience like that, bro, that just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen in radio like it used to, but it does with us, and that's what makes me very happy. So
you know what? And thank you all that bought your tickets. Selfishly, you made us look really good.
Yeah, you made us look great, man.
You made us look really good to the company.
20 minutes, man, like in and out, and
because we kind of told all of the higher ups that have been helping us put this all together, guys, just let us know when they go on sale. This thing will be sold out in 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah,
we guarantee
it. Took 20 minutes. So what the hell happened, tier one? No, it was incredible. And I'm just so appreciative, and blows me away. It really does. And so that happens. The funny thing was, though, we sold the opportunity to play with Paulie, twosome to play with Paulie and his buddy Roger. We sold the opportunity to play with me and my dad Gary, and we sold the opportunity to play
Disco Gary.
Yeah, to play with Ben and his dad Steve. And so by the time we're done with the show, Ben's is sold out. Ben's is the only one sold out, and I'm like, oh, all right, Ben's is first.
Like playing with Ben, and it was about $100 more per person to play with the three of us, and Ben's was sold
in like 10 seconds,
30 seconds after tickets went on sale.
It was done. So by the time I got my sandwich, I found out that mine had been sold, and then Paulie's was the last one, and I went, oh God. I wanted them all to sell, and then 5 minutes after that, boom, Paulie texts me. He goes, do you know this guy? Because he just bought my twosome. I go, oh yeah, we're friends on Twitter, guy named Ron.
Yep.
I got a DM from the guy that bid on me, Utah Padre. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. He's flying in. I'm assuming. He says, I'm flying down for the week. Couple of Padres games Monday, Tuesday.
Would one assume from Utah?
I would assume from Utah. So, yeah, he's coming in, playing with his buddy. So it's going to be a blast. So thank you, guys. Thank you so much. It really made me happy and made my heart very warm as I sat and sucked down my ham sandwich at Jersey Mike's yesterday. I tried some new Doritos yesterday. They were really good. They're in a gray bag, which is a little odd. They were spicy, tangy barbecue. Have you seen those?
I don't know that I've even seen them.
They're fantastic. They're only at one Jersey Mike's that I've seen. They're not at all. They don't have the same deal. It was a perfect combo.
Spicy, tangy barbecue.
I think it's called spicy, tangy barbecue.
Just barbecue Doritos with a little kick.
A gray bag, like a silverish gray bag. They're phenomenal. They were phenomenal. And I got standard pink lemonade and chugged that down and got home and was feeling pretty good. knowing that the tournament had sold out. Oh, the other people I want to thank are all the people at Odyssey. No BS. I know I'm mean sometimes. The panic also sets in when you're selling something online that there's going to be a glitch. And dude, my credit card's not working, or where's the tab? There's no code. Like,
we had a couple hiccups the night before, and we're like, hey, can we get this fixed by 10 a.m.
And it was
tomorrow?
Done.
And they did.
It was done. They
100%.
did, and it was smooth as hell. Now, for those of you that are listening and thought, man, I didn't get in, just keep kind of monitoring our social media, because I already saw a couple people yesterday say, I bought a twosome, but I need one, I need somebody to play with. There were a couple guys that said I might have an extra twosome. A couple guys may bail. So just kind of keep it, keep watching, keep active for the next couple of weeks until the tournament. Tournament's actually 2 weeks from today. Yeah. I do believe. And then the other people are asking too, hey man, I don't even really like golf, but I'd love to come out and see you guys. Done. Come on out. We're going to be broadcasting live from Rancho Bernardo Inn, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on that Thursday. Mm-hmm. Then at 8 a.m. we're done. We're doing a 2-hour show, and then we're going to be hanging out. We're going to be driving around, talking to some of the clients and sponsors that are out there, going to be talking to the golfers. You can show up there whenever you want. There's a huge, beautiful patio area. We own that place for the day. We've got it. So come on out, hang, grab a beer, whatever, hair of the dog, have some breakfast, whatever you want to do.
The restaurant there, they have indoor seating, but the outdoor seating with fire pits, so and cool. It just looks right over the 18th hole and the putting area. It's all right there.
It's really rad.
That is where all of the action is going to be. It's not like registration is going to be way down over here, but we're all hanging out way over here. No, everybody is going to be centrally located right there. It's going to be kind of a zoo, to be honest, and I can't wait.
It's phenomenal. I can't wait. It's a perfect area to do this. Thank you to our friends at Rancho Bernardo Inn as well. It's just going to be a really fun day. And, for me, it was so special to be able to experience it with my dad, because I hated golf like his whole life. And now I'm obsessed with it. And the fact that, he's flying down and we're going to do a tournament together. And the look of pride in his eyes the last time we did one was like slamming into my veins. It was so great. So excited to see him. He's going to get to see the grandkids. I think my wife's going to come out. I think she's going to try to bring the kids up maybe after the tourney. It's just a really fun thing. And for the Ben and Woods family, of which you guys are included, I'd like to see every damn one of you, man, out there and shake some hands and do some bro hugs, and let's make Ben as uncomfortable as we can possibly make him.
Kiss him on the lips.
Is Jordan listening right now? Jordan from North Carolina, are you listening? I'm assuming you are, because he always does. He went to the airport yesterday. He met Ben at the airport. He brought a sign that said Higgins. And they talked for about an hour.
That'd be more than either of us have ever talked with Ben.
I have not sat and talked for an hour with Ben since maybe our first meeting. It's the first meeting 5 years ago, right around now is when we met for the first time. Jordan, call in 833-288-0973. Would love to chat with you about your Ben Higgins experience yesterday. Please call in. I got to have this update. And yeah, today we're going to have some fun, man. We're going to get loose. Our pal Craig Elston's going to come on at 7:35. Today's our Friday. We're off tomorrow. So Craig's going to come in, do his recommendations. We'll talk some Padres. I'm so excited to talk to Boone, too, at 8:35. We talked to him at the very beginning of spring training, Paulie, and now we're going to talk to him at the end.
We talked to him at fantasy camp.
Fantasy camp. And right before spring training.
Yep.
And we talked to him, and he had a lot to say about spring training. He had a lot to say, and I'm excited to talk to him again.
Quite frankly, I think I've reached the point where I've got a lot to say.
Yeah.
Or maybe I have nothing to say, and that's what I have to say about spring training.
It's killing us a little bit. It is, as I'm sure it is you too, Padre fans. So thank you for being here. Thank you for yesterday. Thank you for everything in the last 5 years, certainly. But man, let's just have some fun today. Yesterday was a little bit frenetic. I was a little bit wheels off. Today's a little more loose. Can have some fun. Would love to take your calls.
Didn't have as much sports on yesterday.
Yeah, so it's like
gonna be a little loose.
833-288-0973. Let's talk about literally anything you want. All right. I am wide open today. Whatever you want to do, we will do. We got some great guests. We got some good stuff to talk about. Great audio. You guys, the stuff you guys sent me yesterday, it's top notch. This is the best audience in the world. I'm fully convinced. There's nobody better than the tier one. So we'll be right back. It's Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. come on, dude. It's my Diddy selection. The song is called Bird by a band called Brutus, and they're from Belgium.
Never heard of
any of those.
Any of this.
You know what a bird is, and you know where Belgium is. Brutus is the name of the band.
I actually don't know that I could actually point out Belgium on a map, but I know it's a country.
Europe. I did a report on it.
I'd get close.
So I know a little bit, Paulie, about Belgium. It's on my list of places to go. Certainly. This band.
But she's incredible.
She slays. They slay so hard. I don't know where I found them. I don't know how I ran across it, but it was one of those songs. The first time I heard it, I went, oh, wow. Okay. Right in the gut. You got me. So we're doing Women That Rock, and they're badass. And I listened to a lot of most of the record, and they're fantastic.
Is it an all-female band?
Yeah, it's the woman is the lead singer. So she's the front person, and she just belts it out. Got a little Courtney Love vibe to her when she lets it fly, and I always loved Hole. So yeah. Big Hole fan. Joining us now on the Premier Chevrolet fan hotline is Tier 1 Jordan. And Jordan lives in North Carolina. Jordan got to spend some time with our very own Ben Higgins yesterday. Jordan, walk me through this. Did you actually pick that man up from the airport yesterday?
Well, no. So I had messaged him and saying, when are you going to be landing? And he said about 4:15. And I was like, that's great, because that's about the time I get off work. Perfect. So I got off work, and I'm like 5 minutes from the airport. So I drove over, I parked in the parking deck, and literally right when I walked in, it's crazy. I walked right in the terminal, and boom, there he is coming out of the terminal area and all that. So I said, hey, I have the sign, remember y'all were talking about
Higgins.
He wanted the limo driver type sign or whatever. I had that right for him with his name Higgins on it.
Amazing.
And then I walked with him to get his golf clubs and the baggage carousel, and then we just sat down and talked for 45 minutes, an hour.
That's
unbelievable. That was pretty cool.
That's unbelievable.
And was the Pikachu doll yours, or did Ben bring that for like a baby on the plane?
Whose Pokemon was that?
No. So, I remember I called in a few weeks ago and I said something about Pokemon. Yeah. Y'all made fun of me.
Yes, correct. Correct.
But I play this game Pokemon Go that, was big years ago.
Our old producer, Hammer, our assistant producer, used to play it while we were on the show. So yeah, I get it.
But yeah, you can take pictures or whatever. You can put them in real world situations, and you can take pictures as if they're really there. So I was like, Ben, you got to let me take a picture of a Pokemon
and he's
sitting next to you.
Okay. So easy.
So yeah, he let me do that. But yeah, it was really cool. I think you have to understand you see him pretty much every day. And you talk to him for 4 hours every day. So you're going to run out of things to talk about. But me and him have things to talk about, because this is only the second time I've ever seen him in person. So don't be too offended that, y'all didn't really have anything to talk about at the right of the airport.
Maybe you should just come here and be his co-host. If he likes talking to you at length so much, Jordan, we'll just get you here. Take my spot.
I would not say no to coming back to beautiful San Diego. I definitely wouldn't say no to that.
Well, you're welcome anytime, buddy. Now, did you drive him anywhere?
Well, no, because he had to wait for his friends who are coming from different parts of the country. So
from New York.
He didn't want to really go anywhere, because, he had to wait on them to say, hey, we're here and all that stuff. So we just sat there, just sat down and talked for a little bit, and it was all good.
Because I was going to tell you, nothing would have made him happier than to catch a free lift from you. It's for him getting something for free that other times people have to pay for. It's like his greatest life's mission. But I'm glad you guys got to hang out. I mean, look, Ben is the greatest dude alive. He's the greatest dude alive. I couldn't imagine working with another partner. And I'm glad he got to come out. And I love that you guys were able to sit there and catch up. And what did you talk about?
I mean, he was asking me about, UNC, Duke, and State, and how all that goes down here. And I mean, just asking me about the local sports scene, Oh, of course, yeah.
Of course he will. I don't give him what he needs.
Let's go.
As his partner, Paulie, it's inherently, it's on me. I don't give him what he needs.
Right.
I don't afford him the opportunity. I'm not a college basketball guy. I'm not a pro basketball guy. He is, and he does not get satiated with me. I don't give him if you're in a relationship, it's important to give your partner what they need, whatever it is. And I don't do that. And now Jordan has just made me real, because Ben sees Jordan, he's like, just vomiting college basketball talk. And I know Jordan's a college basketball guy. So
it's funny.
I'm clearly, I'm going to put the blame on myself. It's not Ben's fault. It's my fault. I'm not giving him what he needs. Jordan, thank you for stepping in for me and letting him get all that off his chest, because he's had a Laker rant that he's been sitting on for about a week. Talking about. So yeah,
in golf.
I'm glad he got to get that off his chest yesterday with you, buddy.
Yeah, I can't say I do NBA too much, so I wouldn't have been able to help him there. But college basketball, oh yeah, I'm a big Tar Heels fan, so we got to chat about that for a little bit for sure.
Good. Well, Benny is a great dude. I'm glad you got to meet him and hang out and point him in the right direction of a couple restaurants and all that. So we really, really appreciate you taking care of our guy while he's there. Now, Jordan, we will talk to you very soon, buddy. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. You got it, man.
All right, brother. So I've texted Ben now twice. At 6:02, I said, "How's it going?" And he didn't respond. So I texted him again 5 minutes ago. "How's it going?" No response. I'm about to text him. How's it going? All right.
I don't even know that he gets it.
I texted him again.
How's it going?
I'm going to wear him out.
3 different times?
He's on the phone. Should we have time to take this call? Should we take it?
I don't know.
We don't really have time. See what they want.
Hello?
Hey, hi. Good morning. You're on Ben and Woods.
Hey, good morning. I was wondering, could we do a birthday shout out?
Let's do it.
Why not?
I mean,
turn that radio down
for us. Turn that radio down for us if you would. And don't curse, please. Yeah, what do we got going? Your name is Michael?
Yeah.
All right. Who do we got today, buddy?
Kevin Skinner, my best friend, is turning 33.
Okay.
And this guy is a super fan of the show.
Love it.
Well, both of us are. And yeah, I believe he's listening right now, and I just wanted to give him a shout out.
That's the nicest thing that I've heard today so far. Thank you, Michael, for calling in and doing your birthday shout out for your buddy Kevin.
Shout out Kevin.
Shout out
Happy
Kevin.
birthday.
Shout out SD. Shout out the rain that never is ending here.
Shout out Ben.
Shout out Ben.
In the airport.
See if he got a. Oh, here we go. Got one back. It's so great. Tough. Okay. There's your update for Ben right now.
Told you he doesn't like to talk to us.
He does not like to talk. I want to see pictures. Like I want him to walk me through this entire vacation, is because I'm so jealous. We're in here scrounging for content, doing birthday shout outs, and Ben's at Pinehurst right now. And it's pouring rain. It's just massively unfair. All right. We will come back. Paulie and I were talking about this yesterday. We got some audio. You've all seen it. If you're on social media, you saw Mad Dog yesterday. But Paulie and I have a new list that we're compiling and would love your help on this.
Mm-hmm.
It's opening day's a week away. This is official. This is the official Ben and Woods banned from baseball banter blacklist, if you will. These people should not be allowed to talk about baseball anymore. There's some of the usual suspects on there. You'll know one immediately. There's another one. We got some audio of that person. But these people should not be talking baseball ever. Again, the Ben and Woods banned from baseball banter blacklist coming up next on 97.3 The Fan. It's our 97.3 The Fan, brought to you by your local San Diego County UPS store. Your local San Diego County UPS store locations are hosting a shred event from March 20th through March 25th. 50% off shredding services. Visit theupsstore.com for the location nearest you. See store for details if you need to shred some things. Let's check traffic, Paulie. We will be right back, though. I'm excited for this. The official Ben & Woods banned from baseball banter blacklist coming up next.
From the premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto family, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by the San Diego County Sheriff's Department. Crash has cleared on the coastline southbound 5 before Del Mar Heights Road. Watch out for little residual slowing there. Traveling on southbound 15 before the 8. A collision has been moved over to the right shoulder, and a crash clearing on northbound 15 past the 163. Everything over to the right shoulder. Eastbound 905. We still have this accident before Caliente. Problem is, vehicle knocked down a light pole, so that's got the right lane blocked. The San Diego County Sheriff's Department is working hard to keep San Diego safe and is now hiring. The Sheriff's Department offers rewarding careers with growth and has an opportunity for anyone with integrity that wants to make a difference. Go to joinsdsheriff.net to learn more. That's joinsdsheriff.net. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly Danick. Ben & Woods here. Ben's out on vacation. I don't even know that Ben would like this bit or this list, but I certainly do. It's something that we've talked about a lot on this show. And you know, as we are huge baseball fans, opening day a week away, man, I don't see it in other sports. I really, really don't. And to list all of the sports that I love and watch a lot of, I watch a lot of football. I watch a lot of college football. I watch a lot of the NLL, the National Lacrosse League. Seals have a game tomorrow night. I'll be watching on my phone or my iPad as they're on the road to play it. I watch a lot. I do this for a living, but I also love to watch it. There is only one sport that dumps on the game they're calling, and it's baseball. That's the only one. Oh, by the way, in recent developments in my life, I watch a bunch of golf. I watched a ton of golf. I watched 6 hours of the Valspar on Sunday because the guy I picked was in the lead. I watched 6 hours straight of golf coverage. I didn't hear them crapping on the game of golf. I watch football. They don't dump on football. Tony Romo doesn't crap on football. You don't hear it in other sports like you do in baseball.
It's very weird.
It's very strange. Now, this is a bit.
Troy Aikman's not on Monday Night Football, just ripping the game. And
so the other thing is this, man. This is. I don't know that this is a can of worms necessarily, but when you do this for a living, when you have a sports show, whether it's on television and whether it's on radio, whether you do a podcast, the podcast's a little bit different. Podcast, you can be a little more niche if you like. You know, if you love cricket, you're an American guy that loves cricket, you can do a cricket podcast, right? And people will, if they like cricket, they'll find it and they'll listen to it. They'll be into it. On television, especially, but radio as well, we have a little room to explore the space. We got a 4-hour show. Ben's got 2 minutes on television at night to do his hit. He's got to pick the stories that are going to punch you in the face. So he's got to go for the low-hanging fruit, if you will, the biggest sports, not the niche sports, right? Ben does a pretty great job of incorporating everything San Diego into his broadcast. But what I'm saying is when ESPN is putting together their shows, bro, I don't know how high of a priority baseball is. Agreed? They do Sunday Night Baseball, and there's a couple guys on there that can talk some ball, but it's not football for them. It's not even the NBA. I mean, the NBA and pro football are kings. Mm-hmm. They're kings. And so
we have to step outside of like the San Diego market a little bit.
We have to look at it.
Because here baseball rules all.
Of course.
We have one team.
With one team.
One
major team.
Yes.
One major team.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if we are doing a radio show nationally on the Odyssey platform, guess what? We're talking Cowboys.
No doubt.
We're talking
Giants.
LeBron. We're talking Giants quarterback situation.
So what I'm saying is, though, ESPN doesn't they hire football guys that think they know a little bit of baseball. And baseball is that sport that the football guy really thinks he knows because he watches the playoffs and he watches opening day and he watches the All-Star game and he thinks he can speak intelligently on it.
Yeah.
And I think to know the game of baseball, it's a commitment. It is a full-blown commitment. It is I need to know the prospects. I got to watch the spring training games. I got to watch every pitch of I feel guilty if I miss a pitch, because we do this for a living, but I also want to see it. This team's exciting. So we developed this list last night. Paulie and I were kicking this around, and really it's based on some of the stuff that you'll hear from kind of the national heads. But what really got me thinking about it, Paulie, was the clip from Mad Dog yesterday, talking about, of course, the WB.
This was on ESPN First Take yesterday, probably right around this time yesterday, talking about Tuesday night's WBC final. And it was Mad Dog's like weekly visit with Stephen A on First Take.
Yep.
And it's just, I'll be honest, I've heard Mad Dog with terrible takes before.
Sure. Yeah, many, many times.
But I've still always viewed him as a baseball guy.
Yeah.
He put together Sirius XM, like Mad Dog Radio,
Yes.
Which covers a lot of baseball. He has his own High Heat on MLB Network. You would think this guy would be pro baseball. And this really threw me for a loop, man.
We're going to make this out to be an epic at bat. Really? What is Gibson and Eckersley then in the World Series in Game 1 when Gibson hobbled around the bases and hit the home run against Eckersley, Dodgers days in 88? One of the great home runs in history of baseball.
World Series. Absolutely.
But hold it now. Did you see the headlines today? Epic at bat.
It was.
Incredible moment.
Yep.
What? Yeah, but why? Because they're teammates? I mean, and Trout does nothing but strike out. Trout struck out twice in the game. He strikes out. Everybody talks to me about Trout and DiMaggio. I mean, Trout strikes out 175 times a year.
You're banned. Mad Dog, you've made a career doing stuff like this. You're banned. You're done. You're not allowed to talk ball anymore. I don't know what you're going to do, but you're banned. You don't get to talk baseball anymore with a take like that.
If he's banned, you're banned.
Yeah.
You're banning me?
Yes, I am banning you.
You're banning me from your
Yes,
house?
I am.
Okay, fine. I'm banned.
Good.
Banned. You're done. You can't do it anymore.
First of all, you sound like a Dodger fan referencing something 35 years ago.
Right. 1988, man. I was 13 years old, Paulie. I've got 2 kids.
I don't know if I want to play any of it, but Stephen A. Smith went off on Mad Dog after that. It was about 5.5 straight minutes.
Play a little. Stephen, now listen. Stephen A. gets a pass today. He gets a pass today because he defended that brilliant moment. He could be on the ban list too.
Could
when
be.
he talks about baseball.
You've got people living in their cocoon, holding on to their tradition, thinking about themselves and not doing what they can to ingratiate themselves with a younger generation because the sport is dying, not because people have lost interest, but because the audience gets older and older and older, and you're not building a relationship with the younger audience. Well, how do you alleviate that, doggy? You alleviate it by providing theater. You don't want to see Shohei Ohtani against just anybody. You want to see him against the likes of somebody like Mike Trout. You want to see him go up against Mike Trout. It ain't no intentional walk. It ain't no strategy. It's me against you, baby. Let's get it on. Bam! Right down the middle, strike 1. Bam! Right down the middle, strike 2. And then ultimately, a few pitches later, an 87-mile-per-hour curveball slide. I mean, come on, that's what I'm talking about. And strikes him out. And then he sits up there, he screams, he throws his hat, throws the glove. I mean, he's going crazy. He loved it. Japan undefeated. 3rd time they won the World Baseball Classic. Nobody has done it undefeated in the process. Beat Mexico to get there, who was no joke, by the way. And when you culminate the event that the Major League Baseball is all in on, that the Players Association is all in on, practically half owners for crying out, part owners for crying out loud. And to see the event come down to that, if you are a baseball lover anywhere, what you're saying is, ladies and gentlemen, moments like that is what baseball is supposed to be about.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. He hit it
on
the head.
He's like, go back to your show on MLB Network, by the way, and tell the older generation that you're pandering to with that terrible take, hey, this was great for the game. And he's talking about nobody was comparing it to the World Series.
Play this one. I want to play this guy. He's WFAN, New York. There's a lot of New Yorkers on this in New York. Sal Licata is his name, and he does like nights or something at WFAN. I believe are they our sister station? All right.
Yep.
And they're trying to expand baseball globally.
Yes, you idiot. Why do I care about globally? Do you understand?
Listen, they're marketing to smarter people than you. I'm sorry. You don't get it. You never will get it.
It's not for us,
It's
you
about the
moron.
money.
You
It's
are
about the money, stupid.
I know
It's
that,
about the
Bill.
money.
What don't you get? I know that. What
You're an
don't you
idiot.
get?
Oh my God.
I get it.
No, you
can't
don't.
figure it out. You're not bright enough. I get it.
Yeah.
It's about
Oh my.
Dragging him. He's talking about the WBC, throws his headphones.
Chucks
I
the
mean,
headphones.
I've been there. I get it, Sal. Remember the iPad scene? Everyone's heard that.
Don't say it twice.
It's not my
dude.
finest moment,
I
Paulie.
actually can't take it. Baseball means the world to me.
Clearly not.
The World Baseball Classic is worthless.
I have a hot take, Paulie. This is my hot take in response to Sal Licata from WFAN. You cannot call yourself a baseball fan if you don't care about the global game. You can't. You're not a baseball fan.
I agree.
You cannot. Go look at the rosters of every team in baseball. As much as some people want it to say, he's from Kansas, he's from Indiana, he's from Florida, he's from Texas. Hey, look at us, all American. Bro, the game would suffer tremendously without the Asian influence, without the Latino influence. It would be terrible. Terrible. It would be horrible. It would be a shell of what it is today.
Yep.
Period. You cannot like baseball and not see how valuable this is on a global stage. Don't do less WBCs. Do more. More. Some kid in Japan is going to come out, Paulie, in 15 years, and is going to be another two-way player. Some kid in the Dominican is going to be able to take care of his family for the rest of their lives because he got a job at the WBC. You cannot be a baseball fan and not love the global game. You can't. It's literally impossible. If you like I only watch Major League Baseball here in America. Well, who do you think you're watching, dummy? Who do you think you're watching? It's not all Americans. Frankly, why do you think the NFL, who does 95% of things right as far as marketing, why do you think they're in London? Why do you think they're in other countries? To grow the brand and grow the game. But when baseball does it, no, it's not good. I'm sorry your closer got hurt. I am. But the Dodger shortstop got hurt at spring training. Guess where? In America. In Arizona. Okay, Austin Nola just wore 93 to the face. Wasn't playing over in Taiwan. He was playing in Peoria. I'm sorry you lost your closer. I am. But if you say, you cannot say that you love baseball and dislike baseball on the world stage. You just can't. It is the world's game. It is the world's game. Look at our roster. Japan, Korea, the Dominican, on and on we go. Yeah. I mean, give me a break. And honestly, the people that say, I don't like this flair from the Latin players, or I don't like the way the Japanese play ball. You're not a baseball fan then. You're not. It's what makes it great. And it's so stupid. And you shouldn't be allowed to talk baseball. Stick to the Giants. Okay, that's what you know, the Giants. Go talk their offensive line. Go talk Danny Dimes. That's what's important to you. Don't mess with my game. Don't mess with this game. Don't even pay it any attention. You don't love it. You don't love it. So it's
just so weird. Like, I haven't really seen many people out there saying that the World Baseball Classic means more than the regular season, like more than the World Series. Like, this is the ultimate goal. Nobody was really selling that. It was a fun exhibition for the most part, right? Like, celebration of the game, a display of the game
to grow
on the global scale, to grow the game. That's all. That's what it is. That's why it was put in place. And to sit there and be like, well, it wasn't more important than, Gibson's home run 35 years ago in the World Series. I mean,
it's
what are we doing here?
Yeah. The
Joe Carter's walk-off home run. Cool.
Cool, man.
Yeah, that was a great moment too. Why can't they both exist?
I was a junior in high school. My son and both of my sons are becoming huge baseball fans. You know what's funny though, Paulie? You know what they don't do? They don't sit and watch the game. You know what they do? They see the players. They see Bo will not stop talking about Julio Rodriguez. He has seen him once. He won't stop talking about him because I showed him a little highlight film of Julio Rodriguez. That's all he talks about. Fernando Tatis Jr. He's got the big glasses. He's got the chain like Juan Soto. He wants to play third like Manny. All of those cats, by the way, not Americans. They're not.
Bro, when I was Bo's age, I was watching Ken Griffey Jr., who made baseball cool. Griffey's not around. I don't know how much I like baseball.
Right. They are. And
now kids get to experience that with Tatis and Soto and Machado.
And Shohei Ohtani. And I mean, it's just like, why can't we embrace what is truly a golden age in baseball? The modern day Babe Ruth from Japan. Like, why can't we embrace everything?
You guys realize this game's been around like 150 years and this has never happened. We have never seen anyone like Shohei Ohtani.
I mean, the list is going to be long of people. Colin Cowherd, he's on the list. He's not allowed to.
Keith Olbermann, you're banned.
Keith Olbermann, banned. You're banned. Go back. Take a little blood pressure
You doing
medication.
all right?
Got a little hot there, man. I just get tired of it, dude. It's just you just don't see it in other sports. Man. You don't see the guys in NASCAR calling a game like, man, this is terrible. I hate this.
I've never seen anybody that covers the NBA saying like,
God.
why do we have basketball in the Olympics?
Paulie,
This sucks.
Paulie,
I just want to watch what we have here in America with the NBA, like Giannis Antetokounmpo and Luka Doncic.
The exuberance that you hear in football broadcasts, the exuberance that you hear in the NBA, in college basketball, Kevin Harlan, I mean, I'm an old boomer when it comes to the NBA, but I'm not calling NBA games and being like, God, all they do is, I'll say it on the radio and be like, it's different. I do miss the days of Rodman and Sally and Lambeer clotheslining guys. That was fun basketball for me to watch. It is different now.
But that's not due to globalization.
Correct.
It's
a different game. It's a different game entirely.
My thing is was Mad Dog, because again, like I said earlier, I have always kind of viewed him as a baseball guy. And so I was genuinely shocked. And I'm like, is he really just leaning into the contrarian?
He just leaning into the bit?
Is he just trying to be Skip Bayless, who quite frankly started that show, First Take? Like, is he just trying to do that bit because he knows, like, ESPN knows that it's going to go viral and some idiots in San Diego are going to play it the next morning on their radio show? I don't know. But if I'm ESPN, you know who I'd rather see? Because you're right, they don't talk a ton of baseball, and they don't have a lot of personnel on their staff that are great at talking baseball. You know who is on their staff? Freaking Joe Buck. I know he's there. He's paid by ESPN to do Monday Night Football. I'd love to see him go on First Take once a week or once every couple weeks and enlighten their audience on some baseball.
Yeah, and look, there's some news came out yesterday that I saw that I couldn't wrap my head around. I guess Roger Clemens is now going to be joining ESPN to do some commentary. And, Roger Clemens' personal life notwithstanding, and it's pretty dark, some of the stuff that he did, and it's bad.
And I got
to get him on. So we're going to have him on the air now telling me about how to play the game the right way and all that stuff. We already have John Smoltz. John Smoltz is already doing that.
This isn't an ESPN thing, because I do want to give ESPN credit. They have Jeff Passan, okay? They have Jesse
Passon's
Rogers.
Phenomenal.
They have David
Rogers
Schoenfield, Kylie McDaniel. They have their baseball people are great. They just don't utilize them that often. When there's a major story, they'll bring on Passan for 2 minutes. And that's about it. Buster Olney for 30 seconds.
When it comes to guys calling the game, and I'm talking the 162 game grind, my friends, let me tell you something. There are still those people out there that don't like the direction baseball's heading. And you know what, man? I'm not going to tell them they're wrong, but their job is actually to grow the game. It's not to crap on the game. And you're not doing your job when you say, well, back in my day, he would have worn, 98 to the neck. Hey, try that on let Bob Gibson see you doing that. Bob Gibson pitched 60 years ago. There are kids
you guys have no idea how Christy Mathewson would have reacted to that.
Exactly. Oh, dude, that's a Ty Cobb. He'd come in cleats up. How do you know? It was 100 years ago. Bro, it's enough already. If you want to grow the game, if you truly, Rob Manfred, if you're listening, and I doubt you are, if you want to grow the game, it's a very simple concept. Get people who love baseball to be the ones that talk about baseball. That's it. That is it. There is your solution. Pitch clock, fine. Whatever. You want to do this? You want to do that? You want to change the game, tweak the game, no shift, whatever. Deal with all of it. I'm going to be back regardless. But if you really want to grow the game, clone Don Orsillo and Mud Grant and put them in every booth around the country. Okay? Get guys that love the game of baseball, that are passionate about it, that don't sound like they're falling asleep at every game. Think about how many crap games those guys have had to call in their careers. Hundreds. Bad teams, crap games, long seasons. Bro, they're a reason to tune in. They're a reason why people are like, oh man, this team's going nowhere, but I'm gonna watch. Why? Because Mud and Don make my day. Get people who love the game of baseball, and then your game will grow, period. Make it exciting for kids. Then it will grow. Make it exciting for inner city kids. Adam Jones, one of our favorite guests and good friends, wants to grow the game in the black community. Make it fun. Why wouldn't we want that game to grow? Why wouldn't we want the best players? If we truly love it, then just get the people in there that love the game of baseball. It's really not that difficult. I don't know why we got to make everything so hard. Today is a Throwback Thursday here on Ben and Woods, and we do Real or Fake. Paulie, what is the prize for Real or Fake?
Same prize for Take on Woods. So you're going to qualify for the month of March.
Yep.
And we're giving away a Las Vegas getaway and tickets to go see 38 Special next month. So we do need a caller for Real or Fake, 833-288-0973. Give us a call. We'll try to get you on here in 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah. I want to do a little Real or Fake. Just so you know, well, should I wait till they get on to tell them? I need to do a little setup. I need a little setup. All right, let's talk about briefly the Padres game last night. Paulie and I both said this morning, Paulie said to me, I got to tell you, man, I watched the game last night, and I think last night's game was the game that broke me. And I said, me too. And not because, the team lost or they're playing poorly. It's enough. We're done.
When I saw the lineup posted,
it
did less than nothing for me.
Yeah, there was there's a couple I looked at and go, I thought Adam Engel was a ghost. So he's leading off. I want to see a couple of ABs from him. I want to see Seth Lugo throw because he's had a really nice spring.
Yep.
And then I saw the Reds lineup and I went, Joey Votto's in the lineup. And I love Joey Votto. We love
Smoked
Joey
a double.
Smoked a double.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't too mad. I got to see Joey rip one. But yeah, I watched most of it. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm at my fill. Now here I am telling everybody how to love baseball, and then I'm like, I'm done with this actual baseball. I get it. Bit of hypocrisy there. That said, it's more of just I've had enough appetizers. I'm ready for my steak at this point. You keep bringing out appetizers, and the appetizers are good. It's bacon wraps, scallops, delicious. Lettuce wraps, fantastic, delicious. I want my steak. I want my steak and my mashed potatoes. I want my entree. I've had too many appetizers. Bring out my dinner, please, please. Cocktail hour is over. I'm ready now for my meal, and that, of course, happens 1 week from today. I don't know how I'm going to get through the next 7 days. I really don't. I wish somebody would hit me over the head with a hammer, and I could just black out and wake up and it's opening day.
Part of it for me last night was, the lineup, and then you see it's the Reds broadcast, and then you see that the Padres had one hit for 7 innings, all of that, and then you factor in, planning today's show last night during the game, knowing it's a Thursday. We're 1 week out officially today, like you just mentioned. And I'm like, they're done on, I think, Monday, right? In Peoria. And I'm like, let's just wrap it up. I'm ready.
It broke me.
Do you need 4 more spring training games? I don't. I don't. And I don't think they do. Maybe the pitchers do.
I guarantee you the players
I think they're ready. If everyone was like, you know what, you guys want to just pack it up? Let's head back to San Diego.
Let's get on back.
We got a couple workouts at Petco this weekend, and then we'll get ready for next week. I'm like, yes, sign me up right now.
Here's the interesting scene, though. That game finished in 1 hour and 52 minutes with 2 pitching changes for the Padres, 3 for the Reds, 13 Cincinnati position players, 14 Padres.
Not mad.
In the regular season, I think we will absolutely see an 1.5-hour game at this rate. If you get 2 good pitchers going head to head, Seth Lugo,
Scherzer, Alcantara or something.
Yeah, it's over, dude. 1.5 hours, like Randy Jones. Seth Lugo through 5 innings, gave up 8 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 5 Ks. 8 hits is not ideal. The other thing, too, I was watching him kind of early. Now, Seth Lugo's kind of known for spinning the baseball. He was actually throwing a lot of fastballs, and some of those fastballs we left up, and they got hit. So wasn't too disappointed in it. David Dahl made a really nice catch out in left field as well, but that's kind of where we are. Royals will take on the Padres today at 1:10. That game is on Bally Sports. I'll be watching that. Brady Singer is the guy that's going against the Pods today, and he's really good. He's got really good stuff. And Ryan Weathers trying to kind of make a case for himself. So, yeah, there's another reason. And, hey, by the way, guess where I'll be at 1:10? Parked in front of the TV watching that game. I'm a sucker for it. I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready for my meal. But let's get to a game of Real or Fake, Paulie.
All right.
some are here for the compelling sports talk with Ben and Woods. You can go plow through another donut. It's time for Real or Fake on 97.3 The Fan. Tell the people what they'll win today.
All right, we just told you. We'll tell you one more time. You are qualifying if you can win Real or Fake. Qualifying for a trip to Las Vegas after more than 4 decades together. 38 Special remains a fan favorite. Southern rock band, See the Rock Band, live in concert on April 28th in the International Theater at Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. If you win, you'll qualify for the trip to Vegas, 2 tickets to the show, and a 2-night stay at Westgate Las Vegas. So,
all right, let's get after it.
It's a Throwback Thursday, and that is very fitting for our contestants today. It's Tree Rat.
Phoenix Tree Rat. Good morning, my friend.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
We are doing very, very well. It's good to hear from you. When we were at the old station, Phoenix Tree Rat used to be on his morning walks. And one day he scared the crap out of Ben walking into the studio because he was out walking through, and he
it was a very dark parking lot.
Yeah, and he popped up. He's like, hi, Ben.
4 a.m.
He's like, hi, Ben. Not 4 a.m. It's Ben. 5:53.
Yeah, fair
on
enough.
his way in, and he said, hi, Ben. And he goes, ooh. Scared the man to death. But we've known Phoenix Tree Rat a long time.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, buddy. All right, so I don't know. Did you catch the program yesterday, Tree Rat?
Yes.
Okay. So we talked, Paulie brought up in the Ryle report a new trend that TikTokers are doing. It's called the everything shower. And it's basically you pamper yourself in the shower.
Treat yourself once a week, twice a week.
So I kind of let it be known that I'm a bit of a product whore, if you will. I connoisseur. I like products, creams and lotions and masks and all sorts of things. Probably comes as no surprise to many of you, but I have now done a list of real products in my home, in my bathroom, or fake. All right, are you ready?
Let's go.
All right, you got to get 4 out of 7. Here we go. We will start here. Lion's Mane lip serum. Is that real or fake? Do I own that?
Fake.
That is fake. Well done.
You need 4 out of 7.
Yep, you got 1. Duke Cannon Supply Company cold shower cooling towel.
Let's go real.
It is real. Yep, it is. If you have any questions,
cold shower cooling towel.
Paulie, it's like a wipe, and it's got these little bumps. It's a wipe, and it comes in a packet, and I put them in my golf bag, and I give myself a cool shower after. They're like a minty. They're phenomenal.
Okay.
So I carry them if I travel and you stink, a little bit. So I carry them.
Wipe you down.
Yeah, it's like a nice little body wipe.
Huh?
So I do have those.
We're 2 for 2 so far.
That is real. All right. La Prairie Cellular Platinum Cream.
Let's go real.
It's fake. I wish it were real. And let me tell you why.
Ben probably has this.
Ben probably has it. No, he would never. He would never spend this. It retails for $1,200 for 1.7 ounces.
Good God. Platinum cream.
Platinum cream. La Prairie. La Prairie.
Is it a face cream?
I think it's face cream.
Okay.
An eye cream.
1,200.
Right. So he's 2 for 3, right?
Yep.
Our self-replenishing serum.
I'll go real on that.
Yeah, it's real. It's actually my one of my father-in-law's companies. He owns that company, Ourself, and it is phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal stuff.
Plug Ola. Go ahead.
What's he at? 3 for 4 here?
3 for 4.
Right,
we need one more.
One more. Beauty Stat Universal C Eye Perfector.
Let's go for it. Yes.
Yeah,
real.
It's real. It's absolutely real. You're a winner, buddy. He knocked that one out of the park, Paulie, and he qualifies. I got a couple more for you if you want to keep playing. I usually am the one that answer the other ones, but Kiehl's turmeric and cranberry seed energizing radiance mask.
Oh, I have the list, but I would know based on the fact that you gifted me a box from Kiehl's. Yeah. I would probably say that that's real.
It is real. It is real. I do own that. And then
I've put the list away. I don't know this last.
The last one, Revive Intense Sight Line Erasing Serum.
I'll say fake.
It is fake. The only reason it's fake is because it is $600 for 1 ounce. There's a part of me though
for an ounce.
For an ounce, 1 ounce. There's a part of me that says, what does it do? If for 600, for that much money, it has to be good, right? One would think. But yeah, so there you go. Those are just some of the products in my bathroom. Congratulations to Phoenix Tree Rat.
You stay on the line.
Yeah, stay on the line. Paulie will get your info. You'd think I'd be more handsome with all of these creams and lotions and tonics and serums that I use. But this is the best that I can do at this point. So we got Don't Do This coming up next. And it's I hate when this happens because it casts a negative light on what we do for a living. A Boston radio colleague is in some hot water, and we'll explain that and then some.
Really, this made me so upset.
Yeah, this was a big one. I'm still debating whether or not we can play the audio. I just don't.
I don't think we should.
I don't think we should either. All right, we'll do that next. Don't Do This. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan.
Don't do this.
I got a little surprise for you, you know what I'm saying?
Don't do this.
Listen, if I've done something bad, I mean, tell me I'm a bad boy. Just tell me I'm a bad boy.
Why? Just why?
I get the argument. You don't have to explain it to me. I'm not a moron.
Let me tell you why I am a dumbass.
It's time for Don't Do This.
Don't do this.
On 97.3 The Fan.
Congratulations again to our buddy Phoenix Tree Rat who dominated Real or Fake today. Real or Fake was brought to you by Home Turf. Save time and water with pet-friendly, always green grass. And get a free consultation by calling the team at Home Turf at 888-4SD-TURF or go to sdhometurf.com. I was in the middle of a putt-off with my 5-year-old son, Bo, on my SD Home Turf putting green, and then the rains came the other day. Again, the rains came. So I really, really love my putting green. But now is time, Paulie, for Don't Do This. I will get us started. And, it's a bummer when things like this happen. And it's obviously a bummer for more than one reason, and I don't want it to sound selfish. So WEEI, another Odyssey partner in Boston yesterday, they one of their producers got in some hot water. He's been suspended for a week for comments.
That surprised to me.
What, the suspension?
Just suspended for a week.
Yeah. I don't know what the proper punishment is. But here's what happened essentially. In New England, they call, the little airplane bottles of liquor. Right, they call it a nip.
Little plastic bottles.
Yeah, they call it a nip. Like it's fun. Like, hey, you take a nip off the bottle. These are just nips, like because they're small. You just
3 ounces, I think.
Yeah, you just pound one and
fireball.
Yeah, fireball, screwball. So they're going around the room and they're talking about what's their favorite.
The context was, I guess, like a council person in Boston
does he want to
ban them because they're getting thrown all over the streets.
Yeah, that's like
plastic bottles everywhere.
Little plastic bottles of Jack Daniels and Screwball and Fireball laying around.
And then they started, so while they're talking about, like, well, which ones are your favorite?
Yeah, what are your favorites? And one of the producers, and it's crazy because they're on camera as well, and they're behind the glass, and he's, they're like, well, mine's Fireball, well, mine's Screwball, and he says, well, mine's Mina Kimes. And he looks at his buddy for like, yeah, did you hear that? You hear that little zinger I threw in?
And
there?
I guess credit to the rest of the show, they skipped right over it. They did not even. I mean, maybe they should have ripped him a new one, I guess, but they didn't highlight what he said at all.
So it's a slur. It's a slur, and Mina Kimes is she's
Korean, I think.
She's Korean, and it's a slur for Japanese people. And man, in these times when Asian hate has just been everywhere and just so top of mind and so in the forefront, and he said that, and this is the weird part. So I saw it right when it happened, and I went, "Oh, you're done. Like, you're dead." So stupid, man. So stupid. He then came out with a defense that said, "No. I didn't mean Mina Kimes. I meant Mila Kunis, who's not of Asian descent at all." And he said I was actually being sexist and talking about Mila Kunis's nipples and not calling Mina Kimes that slur. So that's the defense he went with. So this morning, as I'm driving in, I knew what was going to happen.
Was that supposed to make it better?
Right. It's basically saying I'm
not a racist.
I'm just a sexist. I was talking about her nipples, and fine. So that was his defense. That's what he's sticking to. And
so Mina Kimes changed her profile picture to
Mila Kunis, which is like it's one of those things. It's such a great troll back, but also that stuff sucks, and that stuff stings, and people are real people. And I listened this morning, and they started off the show, and he said he was sorry, and he's been suspended a week. So. But it sucks because then you start rolling through the comments, and this is why I don't listen to sports radio. This is why I don't listen. And I'm like, man, it doesn't have to be like this. It's not all like that. So that was definitely on the list. So we got tagged in something yesterday, like, you guys should be embarrassed. These are your colleagues. I'm like, not my colleagues.
I've never heard of this guy.
I don't know these guys. Those guys are 3,000 miles away. So I don't lump in everybody to that same deal. So that was mine.
Got a don't do this for a Las Vegas hotel. I'll be out in Sin City in a couple of months for first vacation, and I know where I won't be staying, and that is the Luxor Hotel, because we got the Sweet 16 in Vegas this week. There's 4 host cities. Vegas is one of them, and UConn was there for their Sweet 16 matchup against Arkansas, and they were checking into the Luxor Hotel, and when they walked into the rooms, the players said that they were subjected to dirt, vomit, quote, and worse. Doo-doo curtains.
Doo-doo curtains.
What I would assume. Just horrible.
When they checked in.
They are here for the Sweet 16. This is like the highlight of their lives. Like,
UConn is a massive, massive national program.
Oh,
Massive.
yeah.
Probably make a lot of dough. A lot of dough.
Yeah.
You can't do better than the Luxor. $69 a night for Luxor to put your people up in.
Yeah, they got the hell out of there and
they had to
switched. They took all their stuff and they moved to a quote nearby high level hotel. So I think they decided to upgrade everybody there. But
stayed there one time.
I've never stayed at Luxor.
The only time that I slept through a flight, missed a flight. This was one of the worst days of my life. We were at Dre's, the after hours nightclub, till about 7 a.m. And then I went back to the Luxor and slept right through my flight, and then panicked and had to sleep in the airport all day. It was one of the worst days.
I mean, that'd be a don't do this on a Monday in August or something. Like, just clean your rooms. But knowing that the tournament, you know,
you may want to put your best foot forward.
This is one of the busiest times of the year in Vegas.
You may want to put your best foot forward for these young athletes.
Maybe.
So, all right, I've got a. I think it's a do.
DD mega doo-doo.
So the manager of Team Japan, Hideki Kuriyama, is on TV now in Japan, and he's talking about the WBC, and he's divulging a lot of interesting information about how he managed Team Japan. So he gets to talking about Yu Darvish, and he's talking about Yu Darvish and Shohei closing the finals. He said, I was thinking about this possibility since August. I wanted them both to pitch in 3 games this tournament. I told Darvish I wanted him to pitch. I didn't have to say anything to Shohei. I knew he wanted the ball in the ninth. Then he says, regarding Yu Darvish's form. This is interesting. He says, to be honest, Darvish wasn't in great form this tournament. The reason for that is because he was busy helping all our young pitchers and didn't focus on his own game. In the finals, he was instrumental in creating a game plan against the major league hitters. So nobody knows those hitters better than Yu Darvish. And instead, there's a part of me that's like, well, that's awesome. Like being so selfless and knowing, hey, man, our best chance to win, you know, if I get in and throw an inning, great. But our best chance to win is for me to be here on the sidelines helping out these young pitchers that are going to throw and helping them create a game plan against this mighty U.S. lineup, which, by the way, worked. They won. So I don't know for the Padres what that means. I know Bob spoke about you yesterday, and we will talk about that later on in the show. We'll talk to Sammy about it, and we got some audio of it and all that. But I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was kind of I was like, yeah, I mean, maybe bummed for April 6th, but it doesn't kill me. We're not going to lose the season on opening day. I thought that was a pretty cool move by Yu Darvish, and hopefully he did some heavy recruiting of one Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, buddy.
I can't stop thinking about him running out to take the mound at Petco Park for the San Diego Padres. I can't. The limits of what I would do to make that happen are they're really non-existent at this point. So whatever he needs to get done, I'd be happy to do it. A human sacrifice of myself, if you will. He needs to be here. I am coveting him in the worst way. In the worst way. So that is Don't Do This for a Thursday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Coming up next, we'll be joined by our pal Craig Elston. Going to be talking some Padres with him, get his recommendations. We're bumping it up a day because today is actually our Friday. So we're going to be off tomorrow. Craig's going to jump on, kind enough to do that, and be flexible for us. So we'll do that next. Thank you for being here. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Welcome back, Ben and Woods, 97.3. The Fan, I'm Woodsy. It's Paul Reindl. Ben is currently playing Pinehurst number 4 right now, and he stopped responding to texts. He did send me a picture of him and his caddy and said, this is amazing. It's very tough. This is my caddy, David. And the picture is, it's everything you can imagine.
Tell him he needs to post it.
And I texted him. I go, make sure you tip him well, because Ben kind of notorious for not.
Wouldn't be the first thing he thought of.
No, it would be the first thing I thought of. Like, what do I grease this guy? Like 100? How does this work? I've never had a caddy. I've always dreamed of having a caddy.
I don't want to like start picking him his brain, like, oh, so who have you caddied for? Like trying to see, like, okay, what did they tip? Like,
yeah.
Trying to gauge, like,
yeah, what do I do in here? Oh man, so I'm so nauseously jealous of Ben right now. It's not even funny. Let's check traffic. We'll be joined by our pal Craig Elston coming up next. I got a recommendation for Craig based on the last song we just heard coming into break. So
from the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto family, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by California Coast Credit Union. Got a problem in the North County now. Northbound side of the 15. A crash just past the 78. Looks like everything is now in the center divide. Eastbound 52 at Cuyamaca. An accident involving a couple vehicles, not showing if lanes are blocked. Get a 4.48% APR auto loan at California Coast Credit Union with no payments for 90 days. Offer valid with Calco's car buying service discount. Interest accrues immediately. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit calcoastcu.org. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us on the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad Fan Hotline is my pal and your pal, Craig Elston, everybody. Good morning, Craig.
Morning, Woodsy. Morning, Paul. How you guys doing today?
What's up,
We're doing good, man. Doing really, really well. We came back from break with, I don't know where you stand on the band U2. But we came back from break. Guys are our age. We're I love U2. A lot of people do. A lot of people don't. A lot of people were mad about that free album that they gave you, and have really.
Me.
Paulie was mad about it. I mean, it's a good album. I mean, there's some good songs on
there. They put free music in
back
then.
Hang on. Back then, you could only have like 20 songs on your device.
True, and apparently it was very difficult to remove. Very, very difficult. So on Disney Plus right now. I watched something. My buddy Nick McCann turned me on to this, and it's called Bono and the Edge, A Sort of Homecoming. Now, the interesting part about that is that Dave Letterman is the host, and he is kind of the master of ceremonies. And he flies to Dublin and hangs out with the guys and is in Dublin and meeting Dubliners and it's Irish folk, and it is such a fun watch. And of course there's great music, and they're reimagining some of their songs. They're telling about some of the origins of how they came up with this and that. And you forget these guys have been a band now for like 50 years. I mean, these dudes have been together forever. And I'll tell you what, man, David Letterman, Craig, that dude has not lost one tick off the fastball. Not one tiny iota. He is still as irreverent and brilliant as he's ever been. And him BSing with all the Irish people and BSing with Bono and the Edge, phenomenal watch. I meant to watch about half of it and go to sleep. I couldn't stop watching it. I'm going to watch it again. It's on Disney Plus. So if you dig U2 at all, or you love David Letterman, it's such a banger. You'll love it.
Can't wait to watch. Nobody of our age should ever apologize for being a U2 fan.
Agreed.
Whatever the counter culture is to U2, when we were in specifically when I was in high school, the Joshua Tree came out.
That's it. It was over.
That was one of the biggest albums in the history of my life.
Unbelievable.
Like when you actually think about albums that have like global impact, that everyone is listening to, that crosses boundaries, something that maybe can't even happen anymore, but back in whatever it was, 1988, 1989, it could happen. The last giant concert I went to was taking my wife to the Rose Bowl when U2 came through. So no one should ever apologize. U2 is actually one of the rare rock bands. I mean, what did they do wrong over 40 years? I don't like that they're a little bit political.
Right.
All they've tried to do is do the right thing and create good music. Are they a bit pretentious? Of course they are. They're stadium rockers.
Yes, most stadium rock bands are. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want?
You'll dig this, man. You will love it.
No one should apologize for liking U2. It's completely okay to like U2.
You will absolutely love this, then. I'm so glad to hear that. So what do you got for us today, my friend?
Absolutely. Let's start with Crossing Streams. Things are picking up, by the way. Recorded, and it'll be posting a little bit later this morning. It's been too busy a week. I haven't posted it in 2 days. The beginning of our coverage of Succession, Season 4, our spin-off podcast, Full Bleeping Beast, with myself, our dear friend Corey Stewart, Justice Parman. We are covering Succession each and every week. And this week's TV streaming recommendation from Crossing Streams is Perry Mason.
Perry Mason.
And this is one now we talked about the original season, and I went back to make sure. The first season of Perry Mason, this is a reboot of the 50s courtroom lawyer show. And the first season came out late pandemic. It came out in late 2020. And I remember we talked about it on the air at the time. And it puts Matthew Rhys from The Americans in the Perry Mason role. And the first season, again, which came out 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, was an origin story. How to take someone who was a World War I soldier and became a private eye and get them into the courtroom to become a lawyer and assemble his team. And so there was a little bit of rocky road, a little bit of a kind of a slow start to season 1. Season 2 of Perry Mason started 2 weeks ago. Episode 3 came out on Monday. And now the gang's together. Now it is Perry's got a case.
Yeah.
It's set in 30s LA. There's a backdrop of like bringing the Dodgers to LA in the story. An elite person gets killed. It's pinned on 2 Mexican migrants, and Perry decides to take the case, and he's got his team around him. And now we're finding evidence, and it's beautifully, beautifully shot. It's extremely stylish, extremely lavish. It's got kind of that jazz trumpet score in the background. And I really, really like Perry Mason. And here's the thing I want to say. You don't have to watch season 1.
Wow. You don't need
you
the
literally
setup.
don't. Yeah, you're not missing a dang thing. Can you accept that Perry's in an office and has an assistant and has a private eye and a secretary? Okay, we've solved season 1. Go ahead, pick it up with season 2, episode 1, and enjoy. Get into the mystery, get into the fun. It's a gas. I'm really enjoying Perry Mason.
That's such a good, interesting question. Now my brain is going to, have I ever watched a show that I really loved where I thought you could leave season 1 behind? Season 1, you don't need to watch it. I cannot think of any right now off the top of my head.
I can think of shows where season 1 may have been my least favorite season, but you still need it.
It's like a slow burn, right, and you're introducing the characters. But the way that Craig just summed up season 1 in 4 seconds and said, just skip it. I don't know. There's something about that I enjoy. I like that. You're telling me that's where the meat is. The meat starts in season 2. What's the platform?
HBO Max.
HBO Max. Good. I have HBO Max. That's awesome, man. So the Sockers too. They got a game. It's tomorrow night. Yes.
Absolutely. Military night.
Look at that,
guys. There's the hype side and there's the soccer side, right? And as a marketing guy who's also a play-by-play announcer, I'm on both sides of the fence. So from the hype side, it's military night. Soccer's in military kits. If you're watching the YouTube, you can see them. Sneak preview, very snazzy, kind of sky blue, dark blue digital camo. We are doing a player game-worn jersey auction on the Live Source app, which is benefiting families at Camp Pendleton and military spouses of Camp Pendleton is our charitable tie-in for this. So really cool there. We are also giving away a beautiful military scarf, which is a pretty much similar pattern to this that you're seeing to the first 1,500 fans who come at 7:35. So that's the hype side for Friday. Sockers have clinched the MASL Shield, the best record in the league. They will be presented the MASL Shield Friday prior to the game. So if you like to see silverware lifted, if you like to see a trophy lift, Friday night is for you. But the reason you got to come to Friday night's game is because of the rivalry that's developed between the Sockers and the team up the I-15, formerly known as Ontario, the Empire Strikers. These games, guys, this is the 6th time they've played each other this year. Each of the first 5 have gotten progressively more physical, have gotten progressively more contentious, and have gotten progressively more fun as a result. I mean, it is the cliche that is born true. They do not like each other.
Yeah.
There is actual hatred and distaste
Bad blood
between these teams. There is.
Yeah,
I mean,
love it.
there is.
Love
There have been 4 suspensions out of the last 3 matches. Okay.
Love that.
I do too.
So it's going to be hot. It's going to be spicy. And if you want to see a real preview of what you're going to see in the next few weeks as the Sockers go into the Ron Newman Cup playoffs, check this out, because this is the team everyone wants us to face in the playoffs. And we're like, I mean, we'll do it. We'll face anyone. But, man, these things get so hot and so tough. So check it out tomorrow, Pechanga Arena. You can go to stsockers.com, 866-799-GOAL, or just show up and buy it at the box office.
Talking to our man Craig Elston here on a Thursday. We are off tomorrow, so it's our Friday. Craig, we were talking about it earlier, kind of little tongue-in-cheek, little serious, but what's keeping your attention as far as the Padres go for these last 4 days before they wrap up their time in Peoria? Yesterday's game, kind of joked about it earlier, it kind of broke me. I was just kind of like, at that point, with the lineup that was out there, the Reds broadcast, 1 hit through like 7 innings, I was just like, we're literally 7 days away from opening day, and I'm just like, get these guys back,
get them back,
put them in a bubble,
let's go,
let them work out at Petco Park. I'm kind of ready for it to wrap up. But what's keeping you engaged over these last 4 days? What storylines are you following with the Padres?
I mean, trying to get everyone healthy, guys. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. There are no on-field wins and losses in spring training. There's the healthy days, which are wins, and there's the days that someone gets hurt, and those are losses. And I thought last week was a really bad week for the Padres. I mean, Soto with his oblique and Nola getting smashed in the nose, and Musgrove's on the mend, but Darvish hasn't had any innings pitched. And so now like 2 of our top 3 are not available to start the season. And it's kind of like every little thing that you don't want to have happen has happened. Not every single little thing. Manny Machado signed his contract. Fernando Tatis is back and healthy and starting to look good. There's a lot to love. And it hasn't been a disaster spring, but honestly, it's just getting it over with, guys. And what I'm paying attention to is the weather report. My wife told me this morning it could rain next Thursday. And I'm like, please, we are over this. Stop it. Just stop it.
We're done.
We pay for sunshine.
Yeah, we do.
It's the end of March. Give it up, nature. Stop raining on us. I refuse to have a rainy opening day. I refuse. I'm putting my foot down. I refuse.
I don't even want to put that into the universe.
It's like I don't even want to entertain it. You know what? The other thing we talked about this morning, and is there a better example of someone that shows passion, that talks up his game more than Craig Elston? I don't know if you heard my rant earlier. A lot of people down on the WBC. And why do we care about what happens in the world? And I said,
we know you saw Mad Dog's clip that went viral.
Yeah, Mad Dog yesterday, but it was more. There's more than that, and it's why would I care what the people in Japan are watching? Why would I? And my theory is, if you want to fix baseball, you want to really grow baseball, stop having guys in the booth that call games that don't like baseball, that like it the way it was played in 1965. And we were talking about those people. Hire people like Craig, that will get on the mic Friday night at the Sockers game. You're not going to crap all over the league. You're not going to crap all over the sport. Doesn't that seem pretty obvious? Like, to me, it seems if you want to fix baseball, get rid of the old heads that don't get the new way it's going. And then let's be passionate about it. Let's talk it up, because indoor soccer has changed in the last 30 years, I'm certain. And, you either go with the times or you don't. I think Craig is a good example. If you've ever heard him do play-by-play, of being positive, of being excited to be watching, a game at the end of the day. It's a game. It's not a meeting. It's a game. Mm-hmm. And you're a great example of that, Craig.
Hey, plain and simple, the end of Tuesday night's WBC final, it's as good as it gets.
It's as good as it gets.
That's literally baseball at its absolute best. And just, I think I even tweeted in the 8th that just watching Shohei Ohtani like run back and forth.
The process.
It was the biggest, craziest, best baseball trauma I'd ever seen in my life. Like, I couldn't help but throw myself into his mind. and be like, here is Japan's superstar. And he's already delivered huge hits for this team. And now he's going to do something he doesn't do. He's going to be the closer. and have his entire country's hopes and dreams resting on his shoulders as he's hitting and he's pitching, and then he faces drought, and then it's 3-2. I mean, are you kidding me? If you didn't like that, just get that. You know where to go, Mad Dog.
Just stop watching baseball. Just don't talk about. We have the new official Ben and Woods banned from baseball banter blacklist that we are adding people to, and John Smoltz is on it, and Dan Clark's on it, and all of these people that comment on baseball that really don't like baseball. I'm done with it. And I think you're not going to find that on this show. You're not going to find it with Craig. This is the most exciting season in Padres history. We are 1 week away. Certainly appreciate you, man. Good luck to the Sockers on Friday night. Have a great time. I know the call will be full of passion and fervor, and we appreciate you very much, buddy.
As always, guys, have a terrific weekend. If anyone wants to come down to the match on Friday, send me a note at 619 Sports. We'll see you there. And oh my God, a week from now, opening day means next time I'm on the show, we're going to have a result.
Let's go.
Oh my God. Yes, we will have a result. A real result.
Cannot wait, guys.
Thanks, Craig.
Thanks, pal. Have a good weekend. That's the great Craig Elston, CMO of the San Diego Sockers, and so much more. So much more. Always appreciate his time with us. We'll be right back. I'm not going to like this next.
No, you're not.
Segment. It's Throwback Thursday on Ben and Woods. All right, we are halfway home on a throwback Thursday, but it's Ben and Woods Friday. We'll be off tomorrow. Ben has texted a couple pictures out at Pinehurst. He had a triple bogey on a hole. He said that one hurt. Yeah, triple bogeys will hurt from time to time. Now, he sent us a picture, and I
can't relate to a triple bogey.
Yeah, me neither. I wrote him after he sent this picture, and I said, am I a jerk if I say that I thought it would be greener? It's brown. It's a nice, obviously Pinehurst is a very fancy course. And I said, I thought it would be more green, and I don't know. And our buddy Matt Janella, who's on the thread, said, well, the Bermuda is dormant. Pinehurst chooses not to overseed with rye. I support it. I don't know. I just thought, I mean, it's like, it looks like a Texas.
I was gonna say like a West Texas
golf course.
Public.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It looks like West Texas. But hey, listen, it's Pinehurst at the end of the day. So he's having a good time out there. Big sports weekend. Obviously, busy weekend. And it all gets started today, Paulie. March Madness is back. Been without it a couple of days. Sweet 16 starts.
You got the schedule there. We got
I got it.
4 games today, 4 games today, tomorrow.
And you got the number 3 seed Kansas State against number 7 Michigan State. Number 4 UConn against number 8 Arkansas. UConn now in their new hotel in Las Vegas, feeling much better after the vomit-stained floors of the Luxor. Number 4 Tennessee against number 9 Florida Atlantic. And the big one, number 2 UCLA against number 3 Gonzaga, and that's on CBS. So yeah, 2 games on TBS, 2 games on CBS.
3:30 it starts.
Yep,
on TBS.
Can't wait to watch some hoop tonight and today and see how I haven't even looked at my brackets since it all ended. The Aztecs will tip off tomorrow at 3:30 on TBS in Louisville. Is how you say it, not Louisville. It's Louisville. It's Louisville. And by the way, there's going to be watch parties all around town, but I like this idea. You can go to Viejas. Doors are open at 2:30 there if you're so inclined to watch it there in Viejas, which would be pretty cool.
Viejas Arena.
Yeah, Viejas Arena. They did this for the Padres, and it was cool. Ben and I got to MC that, and there was a good amount of crowd watching there on the big screen when the Padres were in the playoffs, so that was fun. As we just talked to Craig, Sockers will take on the Strikers at Pechanga at 7:35 tomorrow. The Seals, my beloved San Diego Seals, have the biggest game of the year. It's Godzilla night. I don't know what that means. My wife asked me, what does that mean? And I said, I know they're doing Godzilla themed jerseys, but beyond that, I don't know if I'm supposed to do anything. I'd explained to Bo what Godzilla was, and it freaked him out a little bit. He's 5 years old. So that is 7 p.m. at Pechanga on Saturday, sealslax.com for tickets. It's a big one, man. They're taking on the best team in the league, Buffalo. And 2 teams don't like each other. It's going to be a lot like what Craig just described for the Sockers. It's going to be a battle. The Loyal are on the road, taking on Sacramento, 7 p.m. on Saturday. And, of course, the big one, the Wave home opener, season opener, 7 p.m. on Saturday at Snapdragon, taking on the Chicago Red Stars. Alex Morgan and her crew have really arrived in San Diego, Paulie, with a bang. And they're setting attendance records at Snapdragon. The place is going to be nuts. Would like to get out to a game at some point this year. I said that about the Loyal. It took me 3 years to get out to a Loyal game, and we had a blast when we went a couple of weeks ago. Listen, try to get out to as many events as I can. Obviously, I can't go Saturday because I'll be working at the Seals game. So if you're, I think there's still tickets available for the Wave, but not many. If you were on the fence about it, you need to. If you're a soccer fan, time's running out. If you're a Seals fan, let's go. Come on out to Pechanga and let's get loud on a Saturday night. So sports. How about that sports update? Was that something?
What a weekend.
Look at you. It took me like an hour to compile all that, by the way, which is why I don't do it more.
Well, Ben just knows that off the top of his head.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
He's got every schedule for every team in town memorized.
Bro, he's good about it. That's one of the reasons I love him the most, is because I can say, hey, what time do the Aztecs play? Oh, okay, what channel? Oh, done. And he doesn't have to look
it up. Who do the
Sockers
have tomorrow? They're playing the Empire Strikers. They're 4-1 against them this season in 5 matchups.
I'm terrible with that stuff. I really am. And it's not an excuse or anything else. I'm just not good at it. You know this. I oftentimes, what time do the Pods play today? That kind of stuff doesn't stick to my brain. Other things do. Weird stuff sticks in my brain. In my mind, it's not really minutia because it's kind of important to know when your favorite baseball team is playing. But you're like, they're on the road. Oh, then we have the day off tomorrow. I'm just bad about knowing the schedule. I'm really, really bad at it. So please forgive me. I'm not perfect at this sports radio thing. Today is Throwback Thursday, where we dig back into the archives, and I'm not super happy about this one. Not one of my finer moments, but it's also a good teaching lesson for me as a father. As you play this, go ahead.
Yeah, let me just double check. I want to make sure I got the right dates. Yes, this was on this date 3 years ago, I believe. Yeah. And we have to cut a promo after every show, correct. And it's 15 seconds long. It's, hey, coming up on, like today's promo will say, coming up on Monday, we're going to be talking, it's Ben and Wood's anniversary day, whatever. And the title of this clip is Woods S's himself during promo.
Coming up Wednesday on Coming up Wednesday on Ben and Woods, yeah. No, I'm gonna my pants. Is that a fart? Nope, that's Paul. Paul, we got
Oh my god. That is alrighty then. You hear the door shut.
I'm out.
You trusted a fart.
I did.
When you shouldn't have, and you were gone.
And I, as a dad, I'm still like, hey, what are we doing? Well, I had an accident. Well, why are you having accidents? Well, I guess I could ask myself the same question at 44 years old. At that time, I was 44.
Does Bo know how often you've
remember the
soiled yourself?
Time that we had breakfast with Ben. It was New Year's Day, and we went a couple of years ago.
You and me were golfing after breakfast
at Enagic, way out in Chula. And we were golfing there, but we had breakfast in Encinitas as a show. Like, hey, let's kick the new year off right, spitball some ideas. And I had a scramble at a place that I frequent. And we were driving out, and I called Paulie, and I said, I'm going to be a little late. Why? I had an accident.
We left at the same time. Like, I'll be there 2 minutes before you.
I did pull off at a Denny's. And I walked in to Denny's in Claremont, I believe, around there. And she said, table for one? I said, yes, I'll be right back. I just need to hit the restroom first. And then I walked out, and she was standing there holding a menu. And I walked right past her and ran to my car and had to play the entire round without underwear. So it still happens to the best of us, Bo, if you're listening, and I know you are. So I can't really get mad at my 5-year-old for not being able to control himself when his old man has enough problems. Not one of my finer moments.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach.
If you liked that throwback, and I definitely didn't, you can expect some of that on Monday. So originally I wanted to tell you guys too, a couple weeks ago, I had the idea on our anniversary show. It's 5 years together as a show. That's going to be on Monday. I originally thought, let's do a roast, and we'll have people in to roast us. And it's become more of a challenge than I expected. Mainly because we get roasted enough on the YouTube chat and Twitter and things like that. There's a lot of roasting going on, and it's not that I can't take it, but I just kind of don't want to. Does that make sense? We're going to do more than just play back some old clips and tell stories and stuff. It'll be fun. We're going to do it right, because we like shows like that, big shows, and we like celebrating things, because life is so short and it's so hard. Nice to look back.
5 years is worth the celebration.
It is, man. And these days in this industry, in the current state of where we are, to be together 5 years for a show and not want to murder each other on a daily basis is pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that. It's the longest show I've ever been a part of. And I love these guys and love working with them. And we've really created some magic in here many times. Sometimes it feels like it'll never happen again, and then it does. The other day, Regina, that was like one of my favorite moments. Just, I feel like we didn't even give it enough credit and enough due. And there's another one. Paulie, is it ready? What we were working on this morning?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I got that.
So this was sent to me yesterday by no less than a dozen people. And all of a sudden I checked my Instagram DMs and my Twitter DMs, and like a dozen people sent me the same thing. And I said, all right, I'm going to give this thing a watch. And I watched it and I go, it's perfect. I think it's perfect. I sent it to Paulie and I go, this is great. I want to play this. I think that like old 80s training videos is really our sweet spot. Now, I know a lot of you got burned out on Carving Guy. We're not going to burn this one out. Okay. It's not worthy of being burned out, but it was worthy of a spin.
And during the tournament of drops, I did see a lot of people kind of echoing the same sentiment as it pertains to Carving Guy, because we were shocked that Carving Guy pretty much got demolished in the tournament. And a lot of people were saying, look, the segment that you guys did when you played that 10-minute Old Country Buffet training video and laughed at Carving Guy, that's one of the best clips you guys have ever done. But the standalone clips, maybe people just don't get it. Maybe they have their favorite drops, so what have you. But like in its entirety, that was great.
Yes.
And we kind of got something along the same lines of that yesterday. It was like, what was it, a grocery store training video?
Yeah, this, I believe, came from a grocery store training video.
It was on Instagram. It's a short clip.
Yeah, it's a short clip. And it's, again, the very basics of being a human being. If I'm going to train somebody for a job, I didn't really realize it was important for me to let people know how to say hello and give a person a greeting. I thought that was innate and inborn in people, Paulie. But apparently, I don't know what store this is for. Think about if it's Vaughn's 1983 or Stater Brothers training video from 1984, 1985. Check this out.
Hi, how you doing today?
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Hi, did you find everything you need today?
How do you like this weather?
Good morning, would you like a cart?
See, that's a nice pin you're wearing. Oh, I see you picked one of my favorites here.
Hi, Mrs. Martin. Good to see you again.
It's very reminiscent of Carving Guys. Do you have some, like the full Carving Guy? It's like, so reminiscent of
greeting and serving guests.
Okay. Good evening. Fried enough to eat today? Boy, I'll say. Well, that's great. Would you care for ham or beef? A little both, I think. All right.
Is there more?
Of Carving Guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Could do 10 minutes.
Making friendly conversations like this is a big part of greeting and serving guests. At other buffet-style restaurants, guests often feel they're on their own.
Right.
Once they've paid for the meal, no one pays much attention to them.
That's right.
Try asking a question the guest can answer in a sentence or two. You might ask something like this.
Is it still hot out there?
Yeah.
Or this.
Did you catch a game last night?
Or this.
Have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
I know I'm serving meat. I know I have a knife in my hand. I'm about to carve you up some prime rib, but have you tried the lasagna? Because it's my favorite. So those
one from yesterday, though, it's like if I'm getting a job as a grocery clerk in the 80s,
like a bagger,
I was just cart guy, whatever, like they can just say, hey, make sure if you see somebody walking in, greet them. You don't have to tell me how to greet them.
Hi, how you doing today?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, did you find everything you need today?
How do you like this weather?
Good morning, would you like a cart?
See, that's a nice pin you're wearing. Oh, I see you picked one of my favorites here.
Hi, Mrs. Martin. Good to see you again.
All you have to do is say, greet the customer warmly when they come in. And that's what we need from you before you sack their groceries. I did this. I had my one of my first jobs was at Albertsons as a grocery sacker. And I was really good at it. And I don't recall having to sit through video where they held my hand and told me how to say hello to. I knew at 16 years old how to say hello to people, Paulie. My kids who are 5 and 3, too, they know how to say hello to people, right? They don't need a training video. So I thought it would be interesting if, those two worlds collided and all of these weird people were having a conversation together.
Hi, how you doing today?
All right.
How do you like this weather?
Is it still hot out there? Do you like hot fudge sundaes?
Oh, I see you picked one of my favorites here.
You can always come back up for more.
Okay.
What grade are you in at school?
An hour. I wish it was an hour longer. One more time, please. Please, I'm sorry.
This is Carving Guy versus having a
Sacker
conversation with Vaughn's
guy.
grocery clerk.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing today?
All right.
How do you like this weather?
Is it still hot out there? Do you like hot fudge sundaes?
Oh, I see you picked one of my favorites here.
You can always come back up for more.
Okay.
What grade are you in at school?
Okay.
I could have had you put that together for an hour. An hour. I could listen to an hour of those, their back and forth.
Oh my God.
Holy crap. Well, thank you for that, Paulie. Going to be joined by Brett Boone coming up at 8:35.
Booney.
Can't wait to talk to Booney. Get a little baseball knowledge dropped on you from a former All-Star.
You know, I texted Booney yesterday, and he always wants to know. This is why Booney's a great guest. He goes, "What do you guys want to cover? I want to make sure I can bring whatever you guys are looking for." And I just said, dude, honestly, your stories from your career,
sure,
from your what better baseball family is there than the Boone family?
No doubt, no
Like,
doubt, man. How
It's
many
when he
spring
tells those
trainings
stories.
has that guy been a part of, either in spring training, or his dad was in spring training, or his brother was in spring
Remember
training?
earlier in the offseason, he was telling us about his mom.
Yeah.
Or no, was it his grandmother would go with his grandfather, who was a scout at the time, and she's there like with him at these high school fields in Iowa,
Yeah, it's
and
awesome.
just keeping score for him. Like, I love the stories, so I can't wait for when Booney joins us in about 20 minutes.
Booney is the best. He's going to join us at 8:35. But coming up next, we'll do our Tier 1 tour. The next stop, the Texas Rangers, an old friend, Bruce Bochy, at the helm. We'll do
Lots
that
of
next.
old friends.
Lots of old friends on Ben and Woods 97.3 The Fan. Time for the Tier 1 tour. We fire up the bus and head out to take on the Texas Rangers. Paulie, give me the dope on them. Is it home game? Is it away game? We going to, I believe it's here.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday in July 28th.
Okay, so end of July. Going to be taking on the Texas Rangers here at home. A nice little homecoming for one. Bruce Bochy, who I think shocked a lot of people by saying, yeah, I'm going to manage again, and I'm going to manage, of all teams, the Texas Rangers. And I'm excited. I'm interested to see what Boch is going to do, how he's going to do. They have a very interesting team in the fact that they have spent about $250 million on some players, and certainly some names that you know. Obviously, going out and signing Corey Seager and Marcus Semien before last season. Then this year it was all about the rotation. Jacob deGrom, 5 years, $185 million. They signed Nate Eovaldi, 2 years, $34 million. Andrew Haney from the Dodgers, 2 years, $25 million. That could be a steal if he pitches like he did in LA. Along with Martin Perez, he accepted their $19.7 million qualifying offer. So rotation-wise, if healthy, pretty solid. Pretty solid. Going to be made up of Jacob deGrom, Perez, John Gray, also there, Nate Eovaldi, Andrew Heaney. They've got a couple of other guys if they want to go like a six-man rotation, man. They got Jake Odorizzi, Dane Dunning. So they do have some arms. There's some arms down in that rotation. That being said, Jacob deGrom, one of the best pitchers in baseball, maybe the best pitcher of all time when healthy. I mean, how healthy is he going to be? Through, I think, last week, looked good. By all accounts, is ready for the season and opening day. Martin Perez is like this sneaky left-handed pitcher, pitched to about a 289 last year, 3.8 F4 player. Good pitcher. I mean, they have some arms, and if they can stay healthy, they will be able to do a little damage. They do have hitters. They have hitters as well. They've got young talent, and they've got guys like Corey Seager, who I'll say I overpaid, I think, for Corey Seager. I'm expecting a big year from Corey Seager because I overpaid for him in my fantasy draft. So I'm really rooting for him. Marcus Semien got off to the worst start, signed a huge deal, got off to a worse start, kind of evened out at the end a little bit, but they need these guys to come out of the gate hot. With the Houston Astros in your division, with Altuve on the shelf, you need to make a little hay early in the season if you're the Texas Rangers. You really do. And I wonder, they have shown a willingness to
68 and 94 last season.
So brutal.
That's a tough division.
It's a tough division. Now,
Mariners.
Yeah.
I mean,
the M's too. Yep.
We say it every year, but like, how do you fully sleep on the Angels as long as they have Trout and Ohtani along with the rest of the players that they have?
Yeah, Rendon, a healthy Rendon.
Those two in particular, you're like, you can't officially count them out. I'm not expecting the Angels to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
but
and the Rangers too. Like, are they going to win? What were they? 68
and 94 last season.
Are they going to win?
DeGrom.
Are they going to win 25, 30 more games? You know, that's the big question. And if they do, they can make the playoffs. They have a skipper that knows exactly what he's doing. He's been there many times. He's won on the biggest stage a few times, knows exactly how to motivate these guys. I'm sure these guys are going to love playing for him. They have a good mix. That's the thing I like about that team. They got a good mix of veterans and guys that have done it, and they got a good mix of young talent too. This Josh Jung, third baseman, is a power hitter. They've got another guy, I think he plays center, in Bubba Thompson. He was a high draft pick as well. Adolis Garcia can yak 35 bombs for you. They need a little bit more, I think, offensively, but I kind of like where they're at. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to see what Boch can do with them. And the Texas Rangers, they're going to win more than 69. I'll tell you that. They better win more than 69 games. And I think there's finally a little bit of buzz. They got the new ballpark there, Globe Life Field, and I think there's finally going to be a little bit of buzz around a town that is really obsessed with the Cowboys first, the Mavericks second, the Stars third, and the Rangers are dead last in the Metroplex. They are dead last. And the Stars are playing really, really well. Cowboys will always be king there. And the Mavericks with Luka, I mean, star power, probably a playoff team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're the fourth man right now if you're the Texas Rangers. So you need to get out and win some ball games early and generate some excitement. They certainly have the players to do it.
Do you have a win projection for them?
I don't. I haven't seen the over and over under for them of what they're expected to win. But like you said, man, it's going to be a tough division. But the way the new schedule plays out, they play everybody. And it's going to be fun when they come here, man. I mean, get a chance to see DeGrom play but yeah.
Here we go. I got VegasInsider.com over under for the 2023 season. Texas 81.5.
81.5 seems like
they won 68 last year. Do you see 13 more, 14 more?
81.5. I'll take that's got them. That's just right. 500 ball club. I think they can be better than a 500 ball club.
That would keep them in the mix. Vegas Insider for the AL West has Houston at 97.5.
Okay.
Seattle at 86.5.
Okay.
Texas at 81.5. The Angels also at 81.5, and then Oakland
yeah,
59.5.
That's probably generous. At this point,
might take the under.
I feel so bad for the A's. But yeah, the Rangers and Angels kind of battling it out maybe for that 6th spot. But I think they can be a playoff team this year. I really do, and I think Bochy watching him manage again is going to be a treat for all of us. I'd like to catch
so glad that is happening here at Petco.
Yeah,
not on the road.
It's going to be fun. Catch up with Boch when he gets back. So there's your Texas Rangers season preview coming up next. Talk to former Seattle Mariner, former Padre Brett Boone will be on the show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's Ben and Woods. This hour on 97.3 The Fan brought to you by U.S. Army Salute Fest. Win a trip for two to Miami Beach for the U.S. Army Salute Fest featuring 3 A-list artists, spectacular drone show and fireworks extravaganza, plus top technology and personnel career showcases. Register for a chance to win the VIP trip at salutefest.com. Use promo code KWFN. Let's check traffic. Going to be joined by a former Padre, former Mariner, all-star Brett Boone himself right here on Ben and Woods.
From the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto family, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Okay, we're starting to see some spinouts on our roads now, guys. Westbound side of the 8, right at the southbound 15 connector ramp. Also, northbound side of the 15, just before West Bernardo, there is a collision over to the right shoulder. Looks like a little guardrail damage thrown into the mix. Westbound side of the 78, just before Emerald, there's an accident involving couple vehicles. No details as to whether that's blocking any lanes. College Avenue on-ramp to westbound 8 getting reports of a stalled vehicle. Yeah, just continue to take it extra carefully out there, guys, especially on those transition ramps, and have your headlights on so you're more visible to other drivers. Coach Quintero and Joe Musgrove's Choice, they're a different kind of dealership looking to be a solid community partner, deliver excellent service. Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Chevrolet, find new roads. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us on the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline is our pal and yours, the great Brett Boone. Good morning, Booney. How are you?
What's up, guys? It's been a minute.
It has.
It hasn't been that.
Well,
fantasy camp, a couple months.
Fantasy camp. Did you enjoy your fantasy camp experience more than you thought you would?
I don't want to mess with my reputation, but actually, I did enjoy it.
Do you remember how many games your team won?
Not too many, man.
0. We won 0.
We won 0.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we beat you. That's how good we were.
Who didn't?
I went into this camp with a very open mind, and because I know the guys love it. People come every year. They can't wait. It's a lot of guys in that room. It's their favorite time of year.
Yes.
As an ex-player in the whole fantasy camp thing, my dad's done a ton of them. He's always seemed to enjoy himself. And I just thought, that's just not my cup of tea. I don't want to go to fantasy camp.
You thought you were too good for fantasy camp. I'm an all-star. What am I doing?
No, because, shoot, there's better players that do. Hey, I got Trevor walking around, Hall of Famer, right. part of fantasy camp. But, I got the phone call from Mr. Seidler, and I had a discussion. I said, in my mind says I really don't want to do it, but I'll do it because I really like Tom. I obviously, people don't necessarily know me from a Padre standpoint. I'm more of a Mariner because I was only in San Diego for a year. But I committed to doing it, and I got there, and I'll tell you what, I had a great time. And it was, to me, the best part of it was watching you guys in the room, how much fun you were about to have, and how much heartache you were going to have when you didn't play good, but how excited you were when you did play well. The stories and just talking to the guys and how much it meant to them to kind of live the day, the week of a big leaguer. You're in the big league clubhouse. Yep. You got unis, you got a training staff at your disposal. You're eating like kings. That was really cool for me to watch. And you can't really get that experience unless you're in the room and you see it. But I appreciated that, and I thought it was cool. And I found myself, pulling for these guys to do well, because some of it, it's like pulling teeth for some of these guys to get a hit.
Yeah.
But, it was kind of rewarding, and I really did have a good time.
Awesome, man. Well, we had a blast talking to you out there, and one of the things we talked about was spring training, and we were both talking about the game last night. We both watched the game. We got a show to do today, and kind of frankly needed the content, wanted to see who they were running out there and how guys are looking, and let's see what Seth Lugo can do. And Joey Votto's playing. That'll be fun. But man, it kind of broke both of us. I mean, the game took about an hour and a half. There were about 25 strikeouts, I think, between the two teams. And, at this point, and we talked about this with you at spring training, we're done. We're ready. And I'm sure the players are so ready to pack a bag and get on back to San Diego for opening day, Booney.
Without a doubt. And especially the veteran guys, they're there for a reason. Spring training is a time, it's a practice day. It's like a tour player going to the range. It's not game time, but game time is right around the corner. I remember this time of year, and for the most part, I was ready to go at this time of year. Some years I was ready to go the first week, and I couldn't wait. I was chomping at the bit because I had my timing down. Some years it took a little bit later into spring training where I found that timing. But once I found it, the days just started to go in slow. It was slow motion. You just like, this is great getting the 2 at bats, but man, I'm ready to go. So yeah, you probably figure 80, 90% of that camp is like, all right, let's get it on. Pitchers though usually need a little more time, and I think the WBC, watching that, I watched that once again with an open mind. It's tough to play playoff style games and that level of intensity in the beginning and the middle of March. It really is. I think that's why you saw some of the pitchers all around. They're a little rusty. They're not ready to be in high leverage situations in the beginning, middle of March. But I think that WBC, another thing, I went into it kind of, it's an exhibition, but it kind of sucked you in.
Yeah.
And I think it was a home run for baseball. I think worldwide, just the attention it got and the intensity and the level of interest that the players gave it. I mean, they were serious and playing, and it was important for them to win. Thought it was a really cool thing and a like I said, home run for baseball.
Well, I was going to ask you, we're talking to Brett Boone here on Ben Woods. I was going to ask you, if this was around, it's probably after, it could be recency bias now after seeing it, you would say, oh God, yeah, I would have signed up for that in a second. But, I understand that everybody has different, they're at different points in their careers. And, if that was around when you were there, I mean, do you think it's something you would have been fired up to do?
Well, I think as a player, you get invited to represent the United States. I think you've got to take it. I think it's kind of an obligation for you. That's how I look at it. It's like if you get picked for an all-star game, you got to go.
Yeah.
The reason I look at it from a fan's perspective, and then I put my Brett Boone, the player hat on.
Yep.
Two different things. As a player, and especially as a veteran player, when I go to spring training, I have a mindset. Now, don't get me wrong, Woodsy. If I'm playing wiffle ball in the backyard, I want to get 2 hits. The competitive part of me,
of course,
I want to get a hit wherever I step on the field. But spring training, as time went on and I got some experience, I realized that wasn't what's important. It was important to come out of my 2 at bats. Let's say I'm getting 2 at bats today, is to get that timing back. And, I just missed that pitch, my 2nd at bat, but I'm going home tonight knowing I'm on the right path. We play so many games as Major League Baseball players, 162. And then if you're lucky enough, you go to the playoffs. That's a lot of games. To add 5, 6, 7, 8 games at the beginning at the same level of intensity that you play the Major League season, that season gets longer and longer. Now, that's the player's perspective. Now, from a fan's perspective and what I watched right there, I don't think there's a better commercial you could run for the game of baseball than that tournament right there. I mean, the way, like I said, everybody, how many new fans did you just gain by that being on a worldwide platform? So the fan in me looks at it and go, that's great for the game of baseball. That's growing the game. And I think as players, as current players, we have an obligation to grow that game and to give everything we have and to make the product as cool as possible. So there's 2 different foods for thought there. I understand the ownership nowadays of the organizations and the money they have invested in these players, because it is different.
Yeah.
Spring training game, of course, Altuve can break his finger in a spring training game. But I think the percentages of getting hurt when you're really cranking it up and playing it at that level, there's a higher percentage that you're going to get hurt in a real game versus, hey, spring training, my goal here is to get my swing down, get a couple at bats, not get hurt. You're more likely not to get hurt in that scenario. But I don't know. I think that's the kind of the risk you run. Grow the game the way you did and make such a positive impact with a little higher risk of injury, or play it safe and stay in spring training. I think from a baseball standpoint, this WBC is a great thing.
Yeah, I loved it. I really did. And the timing of it with, spring training games being even with a team like the Padres have, Booney, like you couldn't be more excited for the season. You can't wait to see these guys. And yeah, it's fun seeing them in spring training, but I don't know, man, watching Xander bat for the Netherlands, watching Manny hit for the Dominican, watching Soto mash for the Dominican. It was like, Yeah, that's not spring training. This doesn't feel like a backfield spring training. This is real baseball, and these guys really, really wanted to win for country.
And the cool story. I think the backstories which made it cool. The Great Britain team and the talking about their jobs in the office. They have regular jobs. This guy's a fireman, and he's playing short. It was almost like it was fantasy camp for them. Yeah, it was like fantasy camp for them. I think the backstories were the coolest part. But to see, I'll just give you an example. When Team Mexico beat USA and beat the tar out of them, to see those fans and how excited they were, pretty awesome environment. Kind of reminded me of that Padres stretch in that rainy game in the playoffs last year, how intense it was. That Mexico USA game, it was just as intense. That's what it was about. It was the backstories and the fans and seeing their reactions and the intensity. Really cool.
It's amazing. Talking to Brett Boone here on Ben and Woods, and with the season coming up, like you said, by all accounts, Booney, this team should play more than 162 games. They should. If they don't, something has gone dramatically wrong.
I would be shocked.
Yeah.
My Mariners, as you guys know, I keep a special eye out for them.
Sure.
I'm always watching the Padres too. Not only did I play for them, I live in the city. I see how good these guys are on paper. I would be shocked if either one of those teams didn't make the playoffs this year. They're too good. The Mariners in a real tough division this year. I think everybody got better. I still think the Houston Astros are the class of baseball. I still do.
Yep.
Even minus Verlander
and Altuve for a while.
And
at least.
Right, Altuve for a minute. But I look at this Padres team, and there's been Padres have been we've been talking for the last couple of years. Padres have been a good team for a while now.
Yep.
But I think they finally closed that gap with the Dodgers. Dodgers kind of lost a few players last year, and they've had that death grip on that division for the last decade. And I think the Padres have closed that gap as close as it's been in a long time. And that playoff, believe me, everybody's going to remember how it ended last year, and that's kind of an advantage for the Padres. So maybe this is the year they take that division. Still got to go out and play the games. I think Padres best offense in baseball. I think there's a few out there that are really good. Philly comes to mind. Astros come to mind. But if I've got to go pound for pound best offense out there, I'm going to go with the Padres for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And you see little flashes of spring training and what this team is capable of. And do you think it's going to help guys fly under the radar, Booney? I mean, you played in some stacked lineups, man. You did. You played with some Hall of Famers and now you were a power hitter too. I doubt anybody ever forgot you were coming up and took it easy on you. But do you think that there's going to be an opportunity for a Jake Cronenworth, Ha-Sung Kim, Trent Grisham, guys like that? Are pitchers going to kind of relax a little bit after they get through that mighty first four, even five, when you have Nelly Cruz or somebody like that in? Are they going to go, oh, shoot, I made it through the gauntlet. Now now I can relax. And do you think some of those the guys can benefit from that?
Without a doubt. And having that level of start, I mean, you've got first four in the lineup, once Tatis is back, legitimate MVP guys,
right.
Legitimate, all four in a row. And then you got Nelly Cruz, who's, obviously getting a little older right now. We can't probably expect 40 home runs
right.
from him, but this has been a 40 home run guy for a lot of time. So from a star power standpoint, the name still holds a lot. I think what the Padres do with this lineup day in and day out is the mental, the side of it that wears on the opposing pitcher. It's like, oh man, I got to go through that. They're all healthy and they're all swinging the bat good. I think you made a great point. I think the guys, and not lesser players, right. I don't want to say it that way, but the Cronenworth, who's a really good player, he's going to have a chance to take advantage. Like you said, you get through those four guys, and if we're counting Cruz, five guys, it is tendency, I think, naturally is to go, all right. Now I don't have to face them for three more hitters. But exactly. I think it is. I think it is a chance for them to take advantage of that. But from a mental standpoint, I just know, and I don't like pitchers. Remember that. I never liked pitchers. But I know, as a teammate of pitchers, when we go into a certain city and they had a stacked lineup in my day, I knew I could hear the pitchers rumbling about it. How are we going to get through this? How are we going to get through that? So I know, these guys aren't superheroes. They have fears like we do. It's like when I used to go to, as a hitter, when I used to go to Atlanta in the 90s and it's Smoltz, Maddox, Glavine. It's like I'm in the fetal position in my locker before the series starts. And believe me, a lot of my teammates were thinking the same thing. So mentally, it really does. You'll see pitchers 2 weeks out counting the days. Like, all right, 14 days and we got to face that Padre lineup. It's going to be cool to watch living in San Diego and seeing that excitement.
Boone, you rule, man. That's the insight I was looking for. Praying for a 1 for 12 against Smoltz.
Always the mantra is a knock and a walk.
You
get a knock and a walk
You're good.
Against those great ones. If I'm facing Pedro, if I'm facing Randy, if I'm facing Clemens, Maddox, Smoltz, Glavine, Kevin Brown, there's so many. I don't want to leave out some of the great pitchers, but you always go into those games. All right, if I can get a knock and a walk, I did my job.
That's phenomenal. Phenomenal stuff as usual, Boone. Thank you so much for jumping on with us. We really appreciate you. We'll see you around this year and have you on a lot more, buddy.
You got it. Thanks guys.
Man. That's Brett Boone joining us on the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline. Save money the right way with Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Visit them today in the Carlsbad Auto Mall. Chevrolet, find new roads. He has confirmed my suspicions that, pitchers are just human beings like the rest of us. And I'm sure it goes on in our locker room as well of everybody wants to, you have to have that arrogance and confidence to play the game.
Oh, yeah.
But you can look at it. It happens in fantasy camp. You can look at a guy and be like, all right, if this guy gets on, like I'm the word. Like I can handle this guy.
I can't even imagine the mindset of an opposing pitcher this year.
I know. So
holy crap.
I can't wait to see it, man. I just 1 week and it'll all be playing out. Got a Ryle report coming up for you next. Got an hour left of our week. Thanks for being here. It's Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. So we're at 97.3 The Fan, brought to you by your local San Diego County UPS store. Your local San Diego County UPS store locations are hosting a shred event from March 20th through March 25th, 50% off shredding services. Visit the upsstore.com for the location nearest you. See store for details. Got a Ryle report coming up in a minute. We've got Sammy Spring Training joining us.
We're just talking about Brett Boone, that entire commercial break.
Yeah, what a great.
He gets. I enjoy them more and more every time. He gets better and better with some of the stories that he can tell. It's whether it's a phrase or a story from his past. Not gonna walk.
Well,
I loved it.
And again, you talk about the human nature of baseball players and athletes in general. I mean, and I feel like if you're not scared, if you're a football player, you're scared to death going to play that game. And no matter how good you are, best quarterback, best wide receiver, the best linebacker, you're terrified. And I think I can't imagine that there are players out there that don't feel anything. Now there are guys with really low heart rates, that just the moment's not too big for them. And then there are guys like me that are spazzes, just a total spaz, and just can't like, I'm not made for the big moment. I'm really not. It was never my I didn't have the mental fortitude, and that game is so hard. It's so unforgiving. And when he's talking about pitchers looking at the calendar going, and hitters too, looking at the calendar going, oh God, we're heading into San Diego. Ooh, looks like they're going to miss my turn in the rotation.
3-game series. Oh, darn, I'm off.
I guess I'm off. Good luck, guys. Hope if you need
and
any
he
help.
was talking about as a hitter. He's like, oh, dude, when I looked a week ahead and I saw that we had a 3-game series in Atlanta.
So cool.
He goes, all right, well, Smoltz is pitching today, so he's going to be off for one of those games. Like that. How can you not?
I love that. I love that insight, man. That's the good stuff right there when we're talking baseball, getting it from the ex-big leaguers and, talking about how, in fact, it's a good reminder, though. It's a good reminder. These guys are humans. They're human beings at the end of the day. And yeah, they are the top 1% of the 1%. But man, even they get nervous and doubt themselves a little bit. I think that's a really cool deal. Paulie, let's get to the Ryle report, my friend.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Ryle report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Ryle report with Paul Ryle.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Ryle report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
Got the text from the wife a couple minutes ago. Paulie got to see me dadding on FaceTime.
Dad mode.
One of my children, I'll let you guess who, was just full of pee and vinegar, my wife said. So I FaceTimed him. Yep, that's the one. I had to calm him down, tell him to turn it around and clean it up ASAP, and he did. So just got the text. He's much better. So that's good.
All right. It's the Ryle report brought to you by the San Diego Sockers. The Lords of Indoor are on the march to the Ron Newman Cup playoffs. Get your tickets at sdsockers.com.
Big one tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, 7:35 at Pechanga Arena. Military Appreciation Night.
Going to be a battle out there.
We will start off in Major League Baseball. There was a memo that was sent out to teams over the last couple of days. Talked about it a little bit yesterday. Rob Manfred met with the media before Tuesday's WBC finale and kind of hinted at they're not really going to be changing any of these new rules, but they are open to tweaking some of them, especially the pitch clock and, when does it officially start, that kind of thing. But they want to get a bigger sample size first. We've had spring training. They want to see how it plays out, but the league is open to changing things around. For example, if there's a malfunction with the pitch comm between the pitcher and the catcher, like you got the pitcher or the catcher must immediately inform the umpire so that they can stop the pitch clock. And so it's like, if you're coming up with, if you're playing a wiffle ball game, right? Don't everybody, you get together, you go over all the rules. All right, if it hits off that, it's fair.
Yeah.
You know, but
the
you got
ground rules.
There's some things that they're gonna slip through the cracks. You're gonna forget about. So that's kind of what MLB is doing. There was one note in the memo that I thought was interesting.
I think you're going where I think
a lot of people thought this was. It's almost like, did that really need to be included in Major League Baseball's memo to teams? They said new standards will be enforced for bat boys and bat girls whose ability to quickly retrieve equipment will help efforts to speed up the game.
Bro, what is the hurry?
The league will evaluate the performance of bat boys and bat girls and could ask teams to replace them if their performance is considered substandard. So we've got Doug Eddings that's got a job still.
I was just going to say,
terrible at his job.
Do the umpires.
Why don't we review their job, their performance?
Allegedly, they are graded game by game, but nothing ever happens.
Nothing changes, but you're going to tell
changes.
teams, hey, you need to fire that 12-year-old boy. He wasn't hustling enough to pick up the bat.
Who would be the worst bat boy on our show? Ben,
by far. I saw him trying to run wind sprints in the hallway.
I wouldn't be bad, I don't think. I don't think I would be great, but I don't think I would get on their radar. I know what to do, know where things go.
That's all you want.
Yeah.
You don't want to be known.
No, I don't want to be a superstar.
Don't insert yourself into the game.
Correct. Nobody came to watch a bat boy.
Just like nobody's coming there to see umpires.
The whole, this pitch clock thing is going to be the death of me. Game last night, about 2 hours long, which is fine. Spring training game, who cares? I saw our beloved Bob Scanlon, and he's been tweeting a lot about, look, that big moment the other night that happened between Shohei and Mike Trout, all would have been violations. Trout would have had violations. Ohtani would have had violations. It completely changes the fabric of the game. There's talk, I think it's just mostly sitting around talking over beers or something that, well, what if it's the seventh inning? Do we bang it in the seventh inning? What if it's a 3-run lead? Like, now we're getting into the weeds a little bit, in my opinion.
See, I'm fine with all of that.
So
I don't know what exactly it would look like, but yeah, if you told me if it's less than a 5-run game from the 7th inning on, or the 8th and 9th innings, we're going to get rid of the pitch clock, I'm totally fine, because need the drama that we had on Tuesday night was incredible.
I get it. But now it's like two separate rules within the game. If the Warriors are blowing out the Nuggets, they don't say, all right, let's
running clock.
The play clock now, what's it, 25?
24 seconds.
Okay. It's now 10. Let's get this thing over with. You let the game play out, because there is a running clock and there is a time limit. And I understand baseball can drag a little bit. I don't know that. Now, do I want the big moments? Yes. Do I want the drama of the big moments? Of course. I love that moment the other night. The last thing that entered my mind during it was, oh God, Shohei's taking too long. Oh God, Trout's not looking up at him. I just didn't even think about it. I didn't realize they all would have been violations. The moment did not feel. It felt perfect to me. That's the only way I can describe it. So I don't know what the right answer is. I will adapt. I will adjust, whatever you guys decide. But I don't know.
The pitch clock in general is just bigger picture for getting 2.5-hour games.
Sure. And
4.5-hour games.
Getting more action. And I understand all that. And I'm there's some WBC games that drag like crazy. I absolutely get it. The weird part about if it's 3 runs, let's do less time or more time or no time. If it's 4 runs, we're going to do the same.
What if they just said, no matter what, 9th inning, no pitch clock?
Fine.
Because if you're up by 9 runs, you're just trying to get out of there anyways.
What if it's 1-1 in the 8th and the bases are loaded and your best hitter's coming to the plate then? I got to rush through that now? I mean, the game's not always won or lost in the 9th inning, and that's why you've seen closers being used in the 7th or 8th or 9th now. Like, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I don't know what the right answer is. I just know that it's annoying me at this point. Like, I want the drama, but I'm also not super mad that innings 1 through 5 or 6 are moving along nicely. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. So I don't know what the right answer is, Paulie. That memo though was ridiculous about the bat boys and bat girls. And now bat boys and bat girls all right, well, you better get your ass in shape, dude. Because is there somebody monitoring them? Somebody's going to be there now to monitor a bat boy. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Come on, baseball.
All
Figure it
right.
out.
Next up, Forbes just released their list of the most valuable teams in all of Major League Baseball, ranked 1 through 30. No surprise, but for the 26th straight year, number one most valuable team in baseball is the New York Yankees, valued at $7.1 billion. Now, I told you the number one team. Do you think you can get the rest of the top five, Woodsy?
In baseball?
Not in any order. Just do you think, top five most valuable teams in all of baseball.
San Diego Padres.
Not even close.
Really?
Get to them in a minute, but yeah, they are not in the top five.
The Dodgers.
They are number two, valued at $4.8 billion.
The Mets.
Nope.
Shut
They
up.
are sixth, just outside of the top five. $2.9 billion.
The Cubs.
Cubs are fourth,
Sneaky.
$4.1 billion. So we're looking for two more teams, third and fifth.
The Braves.
Nope.
The Astros.
Nope.
Man.
Number three is the Boston Red Sox
Boston.
at $4.5 billion.
Of course.
The fifth most valuable
Fifth
team,
most.
fifth most,
The fifth most.
final, according to Forbes, is the San Francisco Giants
Okay.
at $3.7 billion. Then you got the Mets, the Angels, number 7, the
Okay.
Braves, $2.6 billion at number 8, the Phillies at number 9, and the St. Louis Cardinals are at number 10.
Where the pots fall.
You got to scroll quite a bit. 11, Astros. 12, Rangers. 13, Mariners. 14, Blue Jays. 15, White Sox. 16, the Nationals. And then at number 17,
Nationals?
yes, they're valued at $2 billion even. And at number 17, valued at $1.75 billion, San Diego Padres.
All right. I think that'll go up after the season.
Yeah, on their list, they showed like the 1 year change, like how much they grew or didn't grow. The Padres grew 11% in last year.
Yeah,
So
you get another 11%, and you'd be pretty happy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't care.
I don't either. I was just surprised when I saw that.
It is surprising.
I for sure would have thought top 10.
I really don't care. I'm happy. We should be happy. We have great players. We have a great ballpark. We have a great city. We have a great fan base. We've got it all. We've got all. The only thing we're missing is Petco pork. That's the only thing we're missing is Petco pork. The pork store at Petco Park. That's it. Everything else is perfect in San Diego.
Finally, I was reluctant to put this, include this person in the Ryle report because I've been told that you got to take literally everything that comes out of their mouth with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Talking about Larsa Pippen.
That's Scottie Pippen's
ex-wife. Been in the news a lot. She's dating Marcus Jordan.
Okay. Michael
Jordan's son. Which,
very weird. All right, let's do this.
The drama there.
So hang on. Ben and I are teammates. It would be like my wife dating Jack Higgins.
You and Hannah get divorced, and then
Hannah dates Ben's son.
Yeah.
It's weirder than F.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weirder, really as weird as it could be. And
she was a cast member on Real Housewives of Miami.
Okay.
They did a reunion show on Peacock recently, and she was talking about her sex life with Scottie Pippen. Quote,
dove right into it.
Yeah. Well, this is what everybody's been talking about for the last few days. Quote, I was married for 23 years. I've always had sex, like 4 times a night. Andy Cohen was hosting the reunion, and he said Marcus Jordan has some big shoes to fill. And she said, well, he's a size 15 shoe. So
all right.
Talking about shoes. He's a basketball
4
family. 4 times a night for 23 years. So
hang on, I'm doing it.
365 times 23.
I'm doing it right now. Hold on. 365 times 23 is 8,395 days times 4, right?
Times 4.
33,580 times.
Her and Scotty.
4 times a night would be a bit overkill, I think.
Yeah. Every single night.
There was this therapy that I've read about before. Couple like on the brink of divorce, and their therapist told them have sex every day for a year. Every day for a year, no matter what. You hate each other, you have a headache,
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Make it happen.
Once a year. And they said it It works, but like that's a job then. Like we don't even do this 365 days a year. Like it becomes work. I like to space it out a little, do something to look forward to. 4 times a night, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's even in my prime. That's too much. There's no way. I'm exhausted thinking about twice a night. It's exhausting.
Like, you spread it out throughout the night? Like,
well, how long is the night? My night goes when the kids get home at 4. I got about 4 hours. So then at 8, I got to start at 8 and 4 times. I'd never sleep. Just seems like a lot, man.
Again,
take it with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
Might have been embellishing. Maybe she wasn't. I don't know. But
where'd you get your info from?
Where did I get my info from?
The grain of salt. Was that from your missus?
Yeah.
Did you know your missus texted me something about you last night?
I did.
Oh, you do know?
Yes.
Were you waiting? Did you think I wasn't going to bring it up?
I was waiting for it. We'll get to that next.
Yeah, we'll do it next. Paul's favorite new show.
That's not true.
I'm a little worried and I'm a little embarrassed. We'll talk about it next. Ben and Woods 97.3 The Fan. Sour 97.3 The Fan brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Visit 5hourenergy.com. Remember, college, 5 Hour Energy got you through. The energized feeling you relied on back then still works today. Rediscover 5 Hour Energy. It'll get you through again. Visit 5hourenergy.com.
You need some 5 Hour Energy to date Lars Pippen, apparently.
Yes, you would. You need a lot more than that. Man, 4 times a night. I still can't wrap my head around it.
That is
Lord. I'm trying to think of my record, and I don't think it's 4. That's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that we can,
going down that path.
You're right. Right. The other is 6, but that's total. It's totally different. You're in control of the wheel, as it were. Got a text from Mrs. Ryle last night. And I do love when the other wives on the show will rat their husbands out. It's one of my favorites. Shell used to do it a lot. Used to do it a lot to Ben. I would get a video or, Ben did this, Ben said this to somebody, Ben didn't do this, and it's great. That's the stuff, that's the dirt that I'm looking for. I mean, that's, like Stern's show, they have, they literally probably have oh my God, they have investigators.
Yeah.
You can't do anything without them knowing. He raised his voice at a clerk in a sandwich store. It's I did not, I really did, I swear to God. They know it all. It's actually really weird. It's hard sometimes for me to pry information out of Paulie and Ben. It's just the way that it is. I'm pretty open, but I don't give you everything. I mean, I definitely don't give you everything. Got a text last night from Miss Megan Gannon Rindle. It said, Paulie is now, hang on, I'll just read exactly. I don't want to misquote anybody. Paul is really into MILF Manor. Do with that what you will. This is the second night in a row he has put it on. And I said, well, this I can use. She said, it's awful, and I'll watch just about anything.
Yes.
I said, okay.
The Queen of Bravo knows awful.
And listen, I'm not gonna rip you too hard because they're
first. Hang on.
Well, let me preempt it with saying I have been sucked into so many of my wife watches the ungodliest, trashiest TV there is.
Probably on the same network.
It's Farmer Wants a Wife. Name it. If it's a terrible show about trashy people, she watches all the 600-Pound Live. She watches
90 Day Fiance.
90 Day Fiance. Now that's the one that has gotten me on a Saturday or Sunday when the kids were gone or something. It's gotten me for hours. I'm like, what? And I bitch at it and I make fun of it.
But then you start paying attention.
Did he? Oh, he did.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
And it gets me. But I have to stimulate my brain because I will let myself blob out and get into something like that. So I try to watch something where that'll help me with this job or my other passion, music. Last weekend, I watched 4 music documentaries. 4. I just couldn't get enough. And it just didn't really help me here, unless you guys want to talk about Miles Davis and the documentaries I watched. I doubt you do. But MILF Manor would be one of those shows where I went, I can't. Probably because
we talked about it. I think it was when we were out at fantasy camp.
Yes.
Ben brought it up, actually.
Yeah.
We did a whole segment on it. And it was not back-to-back nights because 2 nights ago I was watching WBC. I was locked in on that. We started MILF Manor on Saturday night, I think. I saw a preview for it. And I remember that we talked about it back in January when the show started. And I go, I gotta find out what this is about.
Okay.
So
this was out of curiosity.
And we talked about it. If you don't know, it's a really trashy reality dating show on TLC with mothers who are single and ready to mingle. And they go to this compound in Mexico and they think they're gonna meet the love of their life. And when I think there's 8 women.
Okay.
And they say, all right, ladies, turn around. Here's your guys. That they get to the dating pool, basically. There's all 8 of their sons.
So
yeah, they're not dating their sons, obviously.
That's
but
disgusting.
But the girl next to you, look to your left, look to your right. One of those women is going to be trying to sleep with your son. And your son is going to be trying to sleep with one of the other women standing next to you.
I don't often lament. Well, I do sometimes, but I know we've run out of ideas. It's hard. It's hard to come
I'll give
up
him
with
this.
ideas.
It's an original idea.
It is original.
For a TV show.
It is very original, Paul.
90 Day Fiance has like 100 different spinoffs at this point.
They do they'll actually have the fiancés that got married sitting in a bed commenting on the new season, which I kind of enjoy. I think
because you're like, I remember these. I like these guys.
It's pretty good. This one though is weird. It's weird. Like I have friends that did that with moms and stuff in high school and college that did that. They didn't make a TV show out of it.
Right.
It was not acceptable or approved. Now that it is, I'm not going to sit up here and say morally I think it's wrong. These are consenting adults who can sleep with who they want as long as everybody's of age. I don't care. That being said,
you got like a 19-year-old boy. It's really close.
And the moms are 35, 40-ish.
They're like 50 plus. And So
you like it?
No, it is terrible. And I've seen a lot of these bad shows. This might be the worst.
Is that what keeps you coming back?
Well, it kept me coming back for an episode and a half.
Okay.
I didn't make it through episode 2 before I said, I can't do this anymore. I think what got me was I watched the first episode. It was bad. And then a few days later, we turned on episode 2, got worse. And then, they do games like if you win this competition, then you get to pick anybody to go on a date with that night, an exclusive date. And the competition was every son and every mother anonymously wrote a dirty secret about their past, and you would go to the board. If you were the son, you'd be like, oh my God,
is that my mom?
I hope that one wasn't my mom. It's like, it's bad. And they go, I think that one is my mom. And then the moms would come in and think, oh, I hope that wasn't my son. That one sounds like my son. And if you got the right one, if both son and mom picked the right match, then they won the competition. After halfway through that, I said, I'm done. I can't do this.
All right.
Anymore.
Well,
I had to find out. They got me with the trailer. We talked about it a couple months ago. Had to see what the hype was. Did not live up to the hype.
Nothing against that particular cat MILF Manor. I'd be interested in finding out maybe a little bit more. I don't know that I could sit down and watch an episode, but all right. So Megan said that you liked it. You don't have. I mean, if you do, you don't.
I would tell you which ones I liked.
Okay.
And it's got the train wreck kind of thing with it, right? Like, why do you watch a show that you hate? Why do you listen to a radio show that you hate? You're like, I got to see what happens next.
All right.
And I made it an episode and a half, and I was out.
Well, our beloved Sam Levitt does not watch any trash TV. In fact, he doesn't watch TV at all. He only watches Succession, which I think is pretty cool in its own right. It's the only show he watches is Succession. We'll be talking to Sammy, not about Succession, but about Padres spring training. It's Sammy's spring training coming up next. Got a lineup out for today's game. And let's get this thing going, get everybody home in one piece, especially Sammy Levitt may be the most important to get home in one piece.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk to him next.
He's grinding for 6 weeks just to start a 6-month-long grind.
Oh, my God. That is so true. Just like these players. He's basically a player.
I think we'll ask him. I think he gets back like Monday night or Tuesday morning. Yeah. He gets a day and a half.
He gets a day off. Man, he's coming up next. Can't wait to talk to him. We always love it. That's next on Ben and Woods. Man, what a perfect song for Sammy Levitt. Rush, Working Man. That dude has been crushing it for all of us. Spring training, man. What a superstar. Going to get to Sammy spring training in a moment. Do a quick check at your traffic. Maybe limited with Sammy as Yu Darvish is arriving back to camp. The Japanese media is there in full force. Holy cow. This is big. So we will adjust as we need to. Let's get that traffic over with, though, Paulie.
From the Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto family, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Gomez Trial Attorney. Seriously injured, get a real trial attorney. Get Gomez. Folks are doing a pretty good job of navigating our slick roadways around the county, guys. Just continue to take it extra carefully out there. Please have those headlights on so you're more visible to other drivers. Yes, we still have that closure on westbound 78 from College to El Camino Real for that road work. And on the flip side of the 78, got a collision blocking the right lane at the College Boulevard off-ramp, eastbound 78. If you've been injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, Gomez Trial Attorneys is ready to fight for you all the way to trial. Get a real trial lawyer. Get Gomez. Call 833-GET-GOMEZ. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, let's head out to Peoria right now to be joined by our pal, the working man, Sammy Spring Training. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning. Doing well as we enter the final few days here in Peoria. Sunny skies, which is good to see. And right now we are waiting to hear from Yu Darvish, who should be speaking shortly here in Peoria. He was in the clubhouse earlier. It was actually pretty cool to see because a ton of his teammates came up to him and gave him hugs and handshakes, and really good to see you back here. And when we do hear from Yu Darvish, obviously, I'm sure he'll be asked about the World Baseball Classic and Team Japan winning it, but also a lot of questions about what the next week or two will look like for him, and when we may see him that first turn through the rotation. So obviously a lot of stuff to ask you, and I told Paul this off air, but yes, I will let you guys know if that media scrum is imminent. Might have to hop off quickly at some point, but for now we're good.
All right, just feel free. I mean, just hang up. It's fine. Just go do what you have to do when you have to do it.
Do your job, Sam.
We're all good. To set the scene, I am on the back patio, which you guys know very well.
Yes.
Bunch of reporters here, a lot of Japanese media here as well, as you can imagine, for Yu Darvish arriving here to Peoria. And also Gwynn and Chris, Matt Scraby, Chris Ello, they're here in Peoria this week. So certainly a lot of attention, as you can imagine, for Yu Darvish. But other than that, I mean, really a normal day here at spring training, a split squad day.
Well, speaking of normal days, split squad. You just brought it up. I'm looking at the lineup for the game that's at 1:10 against the Kansas City Royals. That one's in Peoria, I do believe, at the Padres home field. Fernando Tatis Jr. leading off, playing right. Matt Carpenter at first. Machado at third. Xander at short. Nelly Cruz, DH. Hassan Kim at second. Dahl in left. Campusano behind the dish. Adam Engel in center field. This looks pretty close to what opening day should look like, Sammy.
Yeah, look, it's a split squad day, and I know there are a few guys that are going over to Maryvale to play the Brewers. Like, I think Jake Cronenworth is maybe in that lineup.
Is in that lineup, along with Trent Grisham as well. Those are the only two real, I think, potential starters, other than Azokar potentially being, an opening day starter. But yeah, those two guys specifically in Maryvale to take on the Brewers.
Yeah, I think they try to, include a couple of, kind of day-to-day guys in the lineup when they go on the road to play the split squad. But you're right, the lineup here in Peoria, plenty of star power. And I think you're just hoping to see what we've seen the last couple of times that a lot of these big names have been in the lineup for the Padres, which has been a really explosive offense and stringing together hits. And really, you hope a preview of what's to come from this offense in the regular season. And we've talked about it all spring. You don't put too much stock into what all the results are here, but you can certainly dream about what this offense can do. And, both in the game here and the game against the Brewers on the road, certainly look forward to seeing what they're going to do.
I feel bad a little bit for Crony and Grish. I do, because you look at the lineup that they're running out there, and it's about, let's say, six guys that'll probably get the nod on opening day. And Crony and Grish are like, that's cool. We'll just get on the bus. And I was busting Crony's chops at spring training. It was the first game, and he's like, yeah, I'm on the B squad today. And I'm like, bro, you're B team. And he goes, well, that's what happens when you sign every player in the league. I'm like, poor Crony. But listen, he'll get to go over and get his ABs.
Yeah.
And we just talked to Brett Boone, and that's really the most important thing. Guys getting their work in. Staying healthy, obviously, is the most important part. A lot of these guys are ramped up, Sammy, Xander, and Manny, and these guys are fresh off the WBC. They're feeling pretty locked in, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think at this point it's getting the reps in, getting whatever at bats you need. And look, for somebody like, for example, in Nelson Cruz, these final handful of days is probably more important than for most, just because he didn't get a ton of at bats in the WBC.
Yep.
And, obviously has been here in Peoria for a limited amount of time. So, for somebody like him, you're probably, examining his at bats and what he does here a little bit closer. But you're right. We're at the point of spring where A, guys are just getting their work in, getting ready for next week, and B, just trying to stay healthy. I mean, the last thing you want is to get injured just days before opening day in these games that don't mean really anything. So, look, the Padres obviously have dealt with some injuries here between Musgrove and Soto, and we'll see what happens with those two guys. Musgrove threw a simulated game yesterday and felt good. We talked to him after he threw it. So, look, again, you just don't want to get injured. And, I think I speak on behalf of probably pretty much everyone around here that we're ready to get going. I know you guys were joking early on that yesterday's game was the one that kind of broke you.
Broke us,
you're like,
yeah.
all right, enough. By the way, though, did you see the time of game? Did you see the box score for that game yesterday?
2 hours.
My goodness, under 150, was it 2? 52 or 4?
An hour 52.
Can't remember now.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
It really was.
I mean, that's the one good thing, about I guess the spring training game is if it can go quickly. So yeah, but we're just marching on here.
All right. Well, a couple guys though, while doing more than get their work in. Ryan Weathers going to be on the bump today, starting that game in Peoria, and then you're going to have Jay Groom. Again, you're talking about two guys there, both getting the start, that are trying to make this ball club. Both of them want to make this ball club. Both of them have a shot to make this ball club. How important is it for these guys today?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think still for both of them, until somebody says they're officially on or off the roster, every start they make is really important. First on Groom, I mean, guys, he's been terrific all spring. I mean, each and every outing almost has been really, really good. When he pitched in the B game the other day, that was really good. And I got to tell you, just the feeling you get around camp, and we've talked about it now for a couple of weeks, and also, just based on some of the questions you're asking and the answers you're getting, it really feels like Jay Groom is likely to be on this team. I mean, that's the sense you get, especially now with Adrian Morahone not throwing and his injury status. That opens up another spot. Drew Pomerantz, is not going to be ready for opening day. That opens up another spot. So it's hard at this point to imagine a world where Jay Groom is not on this roster. For Ryan Weathers, probably more of a long shot, but again, with these spots open, who knows? But for Ryan Weathers, I mean, it's the same thing that rings true, which is what we've said all spring, which is you just don't know when you're going to need these guys. And hey, there's a chance that at some point you may need Ryan Weathers to pitch some meaningful games. So look, every outing for him, I think at this point is important. Obviously, he has the new windup, which we detailed early in the spring, and hopefully you get some good results for him.
All right, Sammy, listen, it's we only have a few minutes left on the show. We'll let you go get ready for your presser with you, Darvish. Look forward to seeing video and all the stuff that you've been doing out there. You've really knocked it out of the park.
What's the final few days look like for you, Sammy? You're going to be there Monday?
Yeah, the next few days should be pretty normal. I'll be here Monday. I think I'm going to head out on Monday at some point. So I'm thinking if you guys are good with it, we'll do our maybe final Sammy spring training hit on Monday, and then I guess that's it until Thursday.
All right.
I like it. Then we'll have you every day during the regular season.
hey, I would do it. Yeah, I would do it if you wanted me to.
Don't you tempt me, Sammy. Don't tempt me with a good time. All right, buddy. Have fun today. Say hello to everyone, Gwen and Chris and those guys that are out there today. And we'll talk soon.
All right. Sounds good, guys.
All right, bud. That's Sammy spring training. Signing off. I
love that guy.
I don't like that feeling myself. The reason why I let him go, Paulie, we still have 8 minutes. The reason why I let him go, I don't like the feeling of being on the phone doing something where I have to be somewhere else and it could end at any
You
time.
see everybody starting to gather.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, wrap it up,
Woods walking over.
Just don't ask another question, Paulie. Please, please, please.
No, I've never seen MILF Manor.
I don't want to do this right now, man. I do not want to do this right now. So I just decided, executive decision. I'm going to let Sammy get on with the rest of his day. We should, because it's our Friday. We should do Flubs. You have them ready?
We can do Flubs. I can get them ready. I don't think we added any this week.
Did we not? Because it's like our Friday. So we keep it as much of a Friday feel as we can for you guys. And I, after almost 5 years doing this, I still love the Flubs very much. And it always makes me laugh. So here you go.
Sit down at a California-style blackjack table or play some Texas Hold'em poker. Book a solar battery installation. Book a solar
What is
battery
installation? Tatis has paid the big bucks to be our shard. Damn it. I have done it again.
I haven't heard much. The organization, Bob Melvin.
Who is Bob Meller?
Because Penske Lincoln's Dong Days of Summer sales event is on right now.
With any and call a public safety power shutoff.
The meteorologist at STNG, I'm in trouble too.
The ump show is starting in 4 minutes.
Stu
We gotta go. Let's go, babe.
Sherwater's behind the dish.
Come on.
The dish.
And of course, San Diego State taking on number 14 Yuha on Yuha. Bring it.
All right, we'll play this audio for you.
Guys.
Gnarly.
It's gnarly.
Out of St. Louis, California. Right. First hour of Ben and Woods. Glad to have you with us on Wednesday morning.
Glad to have you with
you. Wherever we are. And both times, Austin Nolan drove in the one run.
Who is Austin Nolan?
Browns, Bengals, Ravens, 3-2 teams in that division. Ballast Point Beer, the official craft beer of the San Diego Padres, at Ballast Point in Little India.
He's not 35.
But he will be before the contract is done.
What is a contract?
Holiday season is almost here.
30 days, half September.
And that is do this for a Wednesday.
Don't.
Ben Woods back after checking traffic on 97.3 Fam. He's got the fifth most wins coaching time, all-time coaching. Fifth most, yes. February 12th, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. State Farm Stadium.
That's not what I heard.
It's not what I heard either.
Our first sound from Padres Spring Training 2013. I think when a veteran pitcher is having success with those numbers, 6-year history of Major League Rugby.
What is rugby?
Sam Spring Tank, San Diego's number one sports station, 93 The Fan.
We're just talking about Landon Jonovan.
Who is Landon Jonovan?
All right, back after a check of traffic here on 91.37 The Fan.
That's all, folks.
Oh, my Lord. It never
Holy
gets old
crap.
to me, dude. Never. St. Louis, California is such a banger. Landon Jonovan was a really, really good one. Landon Jonovan. Speaking of Landon Jonovan and his loyal, they will be on the road this week. Big day in college basketball. I mean, so I think the times I have are Eastern, Paulie, because everything starts about 3:30, right?
Yeah.
Today, 3:30 is the
so
first
I don't know
game.
what times you had.
I got 6:30.
Okay,
yeah.
3:30 is the first game.
3:30 Kansas State against Michigan State. You've got UConn against Arkansas. I've seen a couple of people picking Arkansas in a stunner, but I don't know who I picked. I haven't looked at my bracket still, and I mentioned this hours ago, and I still haven't looked at my bracket.
Look at your damn bracket. You got 3 minutes.
I have not looked at it yet. Number 4 Tennessee against number 9 Florida Atlantic, and then of course this should be the big one, right? The biggest, best for last. Number 2 UCLA against number 3 Gonzaga.
West Coast Showdown,
6:45 tonight on CBS. So it's going to be fun. And then of course, beloved Aztecs take on Alabama, and that's going to be tomorrow at 3:30. It's on TBS. They're playing in Louisville. But if you're here and you want to go watch the Aztecs at Viejas Arena, you can. You can go to. Do you need to get tickets for that, Paulie?
I don't know if they have
you do
free tickets. You technically do need a ticket. I'm not sure on the details.
I'm assuming that you do, because I don't think it's just a free for all.
Right.
They do like to allocate how many.
You had to technically get free tickets to FanFest for
and
Padres.
180,000 people showed up.
that
day.
It was awesome.
It was incredible. Doors will open at 2:30 for that. So I just go to their Twitter page, go to their website, and see if you need to get tickets for that. But no, it's obviously a huge game. How are you feeling as an Aztec alum? Do you get the bubble guts a little bit in a game like this?
How could you not?
Sick to your
it's
stomach.
only happened 2 other times. Or this is the third.
Third time.
Yeah. So, dude, Sweet 16 is a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
And you want to take the next step as a school,
so
as a program.
They've got Bama favored by, I want to say 7.5 is the line that I saw. I think it's going to be closer. I do. And I think the Aztecs can win, obviously, because God, we've seen
the problem for me is I think that if they can win tomorrow, I think they're going to the Final Four.
Sky's the limit.
Right. It's not like, oh, we got to get through this team, and then there's a powerhouse waiting for us in the Elite Eight.
This is the powerhouse.
No, if you can get through this, like, bro, it'd almost be a letdown if you don't get to the Final Four.
You know, the other thing too is I think you had a good draw in the you didn't play super great in the first matchup, the 5 against 12, right? You didn't. But man, when Furman managed a way to get through and found their way, dude,
sure bounced back.
They bounced back, and you really played your best basketball of the season. So you know that, like, you're feeling, hey, we're playing really well right now. And I know that it was Furman, but still, you went in and you did not keep it close at all. You took it to them, and that's exactly what you needed to do. So I know they're going to be playing with a lot of confidence. I love talking to Sam Scholl about it this week. I know they're going to be ready to play. They're going to be ready to play. And obviously in this tournament, any freaking thing can happen. So we'll obviously be rooting for them. We'll talk about it Monday. And hopefully we're still talking about the Aztecs moving on Monday, because that's just great. It's great for the city, man. It's great for the city.
Yeah, if they win tomorrow, they'll play the Elite Eight on Sunday.
Oh, God.
Monday, we'll know the Final
Four. Oh, God, that's right.
Yeah.
Friday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Ooh, mama.
Gonna be a weekend.
Right.
Holy crap.
Great sports weekend. Great sports weekend. Hey, thanks for sticking with us this week. We really appreciate it. Thank you to all that bought your slots at the Ben & Woods Open. Can't wait for that. But yeah, man, opening day. We got our 5th anniversary show coming up Monday. A lot of special stuff planned. And can't wait to talk to you then. Ben will be back from his golf vacation. It'll be all together celebrating 5 years. So really appreciate you guys. Couldn't do it without you. We love you. For Paul Ryle, executive producer, I'm Stephen Woods. For Ben Higgins, who is on first vacation, we love you. We'll be back Monday.